We'll start with little Kim Kardashian info. She was on Jimmy Kimmel Live and revealed that a lot of the rumors you hear about her are actually true. And here's a couple of the quirky things. And Kathy, I'll be interested to see what you think. Interested to see what you think about this. She apparently blow dries her jewelry, for starters. She hates the feeling of cold metal. So it's not to get them dry, it's to warm them up.
That's funny.
Before she puts them on.
I blow dry my eyelash curlers. It heats them up and it curls the lash more.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So she talks about like sometimes she'll wear like mesh things too that are metallic, and that she wants it all hot.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Wow. She also admitted that she hates the sound of cardboard. So her assistants have to take off the cardboard sleeve from her Starbucks orders for her.
Oh, it's like nails on a chalkboard.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
But like she doesn't even remove it herself. She has her handlers remove
her
it
assistant,
for
right?
her. Yeah.
They could order it without one.
There was at least one rumor she completely shut down, though. For some reason, people on the internet were convinced for a while that on one of her feet she had 6 toes. And she says she has the standard 5 on each
That'd
foot.
be cool.
Yeah.
Actually, I'd boast about that.
Now, she also, there's a little more Kim news. She posted a photo with Carly Kloss on her Instagram stories, who used to be close friends with Taylor Swift.
Uh-huh.
And Swifties think that Kim is subtly shading Taylor with her post.
Wow, man.
God.
So they're getting brutal now with that shading stuff.
Reading into this stuff, it's crazy. All right. So I saw this video footage. Alec Baldwin appeared to slap a phone out of a protester's hands as they filmed and harangued the actor to say "Free Palestine." In a video taken by the protester, Baldwin is seen getting coffee at a coffee shop as the person filming loudly and repeatedly asks him to say "Free Palestine," among other things. And when that doesn't work, the person goes, the Rust case, brings up the Rust case saying, "Why'd you kill that lady? You killed that lady, got no jail time." It's really harassment. This person is being really rude to him.
Yeah.
After continuing to harass the actor, he asked them to leave the coffee shop and for the employees to call the police. Eventually, he seems to slap the phone out of the person's hands as the video abruptly ends.
Yeah, well, if you're trying to get somebody to say something you want, I think you come at him without accusing them of murder, regardless of how you feel, whether he's guilty or not. And listen, for whatever you think about Alec Baldwin, he was just there ordering a coffee.
Exactly.
Funny thing is, though, he keeps his cardboard on his cup, Preston.
Wow. They wrote in the caption, "White devil Alec Baldwin attacked me while I was trying to get coffee."
God. Well, it's on video.
While I was trying to get coffee.
Okay.
No, you were harassing him.
I don't like you.
No comment
I'm a
from
white devil.
Baldwin's people about the incident.
You're a pig.
Donnie Wahlberg and wife Jenny McCarthy have busy and often competing schedules. So how do they keep their love alive when they are apart so often? Well, he told the Drew Barrymore show that at those times he and Jenny hook up on FaceTime and fall asleep together.
That's
way.
adorable. It must be hugely expensive.
He clarified that their FaceTime sleepovers don't come from a place of insecurity and that they simply love to do it. He said it's like, why not, right? We're gonna miss each other. Why wake up saying, "Oh my God, I missed you"? I woke up at 3 a.m. And he said, I tell her, if you wake up at 3 a.m. and can't sleep, just tap me on the shoulder through the phone.
Aww.
And I'll wake up and hang out with you for a while. So, yeah.
Apparently it's
both sitting there drooling.
It's New Kids on the Block Day today.
Is it?
Today is New Kids on the Block
But
Day.
yeah, Marissa just handed me this note. But like, why? What's the significance of?
Well, that's when they
424
first arrived in America.
I don't know the significance, but they're coming to town this summer.
Okay.
And so today's the day. They're coming with Paula Abdul.
To perform in Philly?
Yeah, you know, they always do those summer shows. It's like Jazzy Jeff, Paula Abdul. They like get all the 90s groups together. Mm-hmm. Today's the day that they're celebrating that.
That they're celebrating the tour?
I mean, they're just celebrating. It's New Kids on the Block Day. I mean, why is it chocolate chip pretzel? I mean, chocolate chip cookie day or anything like that.
I don't know.
Today happens to be New Kids on the Block
Okay, never mind.
I saw it on a billboard on my way into work today.
Okay, all right. Well, we'll celebrate.
go.
I'll get dressed
I
up.
got very excited you were talking about Donnie, and what a coincidence.
There you go. So everybody keep hanging tough.
You got the right stuff there, buddy.
Yeah.
Celebrate accordingly.
Lori Laughlin's home can be yours if you've got an extra $17.5 million laying around.
Only 17.5?
Yeah.
Did anybody see her in Curb this season, Curb Your Enthusiasm?
I heard she was good.
She was great. And Steve, she spent the whole time making fun of herself.
No, there you go.
And what a bitch she is and how she cheats at everything, including golf. She goes out on the course with Larry.
I love
she
that.
cheats to get parking spaces, and it's all her making fun of herself. It was really funny and really well done.
Isn't her husband like a super wealthy clothes designer?
Yeah. So
Massimo or something?
Yeah. So it's they're looking to part ways with one of the properties, and she has her
One of the properties.
Hidden Hills mansion on the market, and it is a mansion. It's 11,800 square feet. She and her husband, Massimo Giannulli, first purchased the home in 2020 for $9.5 million. And it features 6 bedrooms and 7 full bathrooms and boasts a number of luxury amenities, including a wine closet, home gym, pool, bocce ball court, and a movie theater.
I was half listening. Did you say she's married to Svengoolie?
No, I did not say Svengoolie.
Oh.
Who is Svengoolie?
He's a horror host on
No.
BTV.
Yeah, that's right. So, no, it's all spread out across 1.5 acres of land, which seems kind of small for a house that big.
$17.5 million?
Well,
in LA.
And 11,800 square feet, too.
Well, that's a big one.
That's a huge house. It sounds like it takes up the entire 1.5 acres. So, but yeah, if you got 17.5 mil, it's yours. Go for it. Go get it. An accident occurred on the set of the film The Pickup. And injured several crew members. According to the reports, a truck locked up and crashed unexpectedly into a car on the Georgia set, ending up putting 2 people in the hospital and with injuries ranging from bruises and broken bones. So Eddie Murphy stars in this movie, along with Keke Palmer and Pete Davidson. None of the 3 were on set at the time of the accident, so I don't know how bad
I wonder
people were hurt.
with the refinement to filmmaking and different unions and so on and so forth and protections in place. I wonder how often stunt people still get injured on set. You know?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's hard work, so I
Yeah.
would imagine it happens to some extent from time to time.
We do a lot of stunts on the show.
Yeah, but we take all
the
safety
precautions.
I have literally gotten really hurt on this show.
You have? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's so dumb.
I said
Right at my
we.
shoulder.
Yeah. Intern Joe used to get hurt. We've hurt people.
Yes, and we've learned, we've grown.
We've
We
learned.
almost killed somebody with cheese.
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
And almost paralyzed someone during a shopping cart relay.
Jeez.
Yeah, nacho cheese.
Nacho cheese.
Oh, my God.
I
Yeah.
almost
Yeah.
killed Stephen Lynch by electrocuting him one time.
Yeah, it's been a few things.
It's
along
tough.
here.
Radio is tough.
Yeah. All right. So speaking of dying, The Simpsons killed off a long-standing minor character who appeared in the very first episode, the 1989 Christmas special, Simpsons Roasting on an Open Fire. In the latest episode of the popular animated series titled Cremains of the Day, characters were confronted with the death of Larry the Barfly,
Oh, yes.
a familiar name to obsessives of the show. He was voiced by Harry Shearer. I don't know this character.
So I watched the episode and I'm like, is this character of any importance? I've watched it for literally for decades. And now it makes sense. Okay.
So Larry could often be seen in scene set in Moe's Tavern alongside the more well-known characters like Lenny, Carl, and Barney. Cremains of the Day, the 765th episode of the series overall, revealed that Larry's full name was, in fact, Lawrence Dalrymple. The episode explored the aftermath of Larry's death as Homer and the gang at Moe's come to terms with the mysteries of their late friend's life. And on social media, fans reacted to the moment with sadness, with many expressing fondness for the oft-seen yet seldom discussed character.
Yeah.
So he's dead. He's gone. So that is Larry. What was his name? Barfly Larry. Larry the Barfly. Wow.
All right.
Okay.
You, Larry.
Wow. Of
Somebody
course.
didn't like him.
Yeah.
Terry Carter, an actor who played Sergeant Joe Broadhurst on the TV series McCloud and Detective Colonel Ty on the original Battlestar Galactica, passed away at his home. He was 95 years old.
Oh, because I know those characters. I know those shows. Oh, I know this guy.
He was one of the first black regulars on the 1956 TV sitcom series The Phil Silver Show, in which he played Private Sugarman.
He was always good. He was good on that original Battlestar Galactica. Obviously, was a response to Star Wars, and it had a big debut, but it was canceled within a season. But he was very good on the show.
He was also in Foxy Brown with Pam Grier back in 1974. And in 1979, he formed Council for Positive Images, a nonprofit dedicated to enhancing intercultural and interethnic understanding through media.
He was the one who pushed hard for New Kids on the Block Day.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's the guy. And it's sad that he didn't live to see it. Well, that's too bad.
Well, no, when did maybe it started last
That's a
year.
good question. Maybe he got to see it.
Possibly. Since Jon Stewart signed on to host The Daily Show every Monday through the election, the show's ratings have been seen a significant boost, surpassing the averages from last year. His comeback episode in February attracted a multi-year high in viewership, and following episodes hosted by correspondent Jordan Klepper also saw increased viewers over previous seasons. The trend of increased viewership has continued for 7 weeks after his return, with both his Monday shows and those led by the news team later in the week consistently surpassing the viewership levels of the guest host era in 2023 and the final weeks of Trevor Noah's tenure in 2022. So maybe we'll see John stick around for longer. You never know.
That was we were talking about YouTube yesterday. That's one of those shows that I only watch on YouTube because I'm not usually up at 11 o'clock on a Monday night, so I'll watch it the next day.
Okay, on to the next. Maybe that should be our transition
To celebrate.
It's like our Law and Order.
Yeah.
Dun dun
Dun dun.
Yeah. Cut the new scene.
The Oscars are making it a little harder for movies to qualify for awards for the 2025 awards season. Movies will now have to have a 1 week run in 6 different places: LA County, New York City, the San Francisco Bay Area, Chicago, Atlanta, and Dallas-Fort Worth.
Could they make it 6 different theaters in a multiplex?
No. And if you want to qualify for the Best Picture award, your movie has to have been shown for an extended run of 7 days in 10 of the top 50 U.S. markets.
Do they have to show the whole movie?
Those runs have to happen within 45 days of a movie's release in 2024. So the Academy has been tightening its rules as it looks to shore up the movie business. And they had loosened some during the pandemic, but with these new rules, the Academy is apparently interested in keeping movie theaters a key part of the movie experience, even as streaming options continue.
Yeah, that's it. And I
that's
sort of
what they're
agree with
doing.
it. Yeah.
So I think that's... I'm not done yet.
Oh,
Okay.
damn it.
I think that's an admirable thing for them to do.
Okay.
We love the theaters.
He's not done yet.
Now,
You guys need to stop talking.
it's New Kids on the Block
need to
Day.
freaking
Show
stop
some reverence.
I'm trying to do something
Okay,
here, all
I
right?
gotcha.
I'm trying to figure out whether or not that is the proper
That's it.
Transition?
I don't think you can
transition
do better.
or
yeah.
No.
No,
No. Step by step.
no, you're right.
No,
You're
no,
right.
no.
I mean, that's still
It's like
so
Match
good.
Game. Go with your first guess.
It is so good.
So Tom Holland is up for some more web slinging. The 27-year-old actor recently spoke with Deadline about the future of the Spider-Man franchise at a golf tournament he participated in during the 3rd annual Sands International Film Festival in St. Andrews, Scotland. He said, "We have the best in the business working toward whatever the story might be, but until we've cracked it, we have a legacy to protect."
The guy's an avid golfer. I wonder
Yeah.
if you could do a Spider-Man Tin Cup crossover.
Oh,
Yeah.
That'd be interesting. I wonder if that would work. Possibly, where he still has the ability.
Absolutely.
Okay. This is the first time in the process, he said, that I've been a part of the creative so early. And it's just a process where I'm watching and learning. It's just a really fun stage for me. But he said, like I said, everyone wants to be happy, but we want to make sure that we're not overdoing the same things. The simple answer is that I'll always want to do Spider-Man films.
Yeah.
Press, I've seen like just amazing athletes just be terrible at golf. Do you think that Spider-Man's skill set and talents would translate to the golf course?
Yes, absolutely, because he's got a super strength. And so that's going to help him get some distance.
Yeah, but if he super strengths it and slices it,
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to see. But Tom Holland himself is a low handicapper.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, he's definitely probably in the 4s or 3s or something like that.
Oh
he
my
can
God.
he can play well.
There you go.
He's really good.
Yeah.
So. Thank you. I forgot about that. Another cast member of Wednesday season 2 has been revealed. Fandy Newton will star in the long-awaited return of the Netflix series, but character details are being kept secret for now. The Westworld star is the latest to join the show for the second season. We recently told you Steve Buscemi,
Which is great.
was announced. He'll be playing the new principal at Wednesday School, the Nevermore Academy. And, of course, Jenna Ortega will be back.
So I wonder how prominent Catherine Zeta-Jones and Luis Guzman will be.
Yeah.
Because they were in and out of the first one, but I wonder if there's going to be more of them in this. Because they were great.
Yeah, they were. But since it focused at the school, there were only a few moments.
Like Parent Day.
And I would assume Fred Armisen is going to be a little bit more prominent as Fester this time around.
I think he's getting his own series, too.
Really?
I think they're doing an Uncle Fester spinoff.
That could work. A new Clue movie could be coming to the big screen soon.
That was one of the few board games I enjoyed playing.
Hasbro has reportedly teamed up with Sony's TriStar Pictures and Sony Pictures Television, closing a deal for film and TV rights to the board game. The Clue board game has sold over 150 million copies around the world since it came out in the 1940s. Wow.
Oh, I didn't realize it went back that far.
No.
It's older than New Kids on the Block Day.
Wow. Well, like way older.
Yeah.
It's older than New Kids on the Block's parents,
That's
probably.
true, yeah.
The previous Clue movie, of course, came out in 1985. Tim Curry, Madeline Kahn, Christopher Lloyd, to name a few who were in that. It also featured multiple endings as well, which was a lot of fun. So I think I think you could get away with that.
Sure,
I think they could really update and make that a lot of fun. All right, and then finally, I'm going to end with this. This is interesting. In a highly anticipated return, actor and musician Russell Crowe is bringing his electric indoor garden party to the U.S. in August after a 12-year hiatus.
So he's going to tour?
Yeah. He described the concept, which first took root in 2009 at a pub outside London, as a fluid, ever-evolving happening where he gathers an ensemble of musicians, storytellers, and other creatives that he admires to put on a one-of-a-kind show. For this go-around, he'll be spotlighting his long-running band, the Gentleman Barbers, who he's been quietly collaborating and recording with over the past 4 years. The band's lineup features a core of musicians who maintain close relationships with Crowe over 3 decades. So in August, he'll be doing 2 gigs he's one in Newark and one in New York as well. So that's as close as he's getting to here.
Yeah, his sound has changed a bit. He's a lot more like Camila Cabello.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know he was diving into that. So, All right, should we segue into the clips?
Yeah.
Where's the transition, man?
Listen, don't come on, man, me. Because
Don't take it out on me. You started it.
You said, come on, man.
You started it.
All of you. Every single one of you. I was there on the button for the last 3 stories. I'm talking. And I was not given an opportunity to transition into the last 3 stories, so I gave up on it.
I was hoping for it to return. I loved it.
I needed a come on, man, from you 2 stories ago, Nick. Where was the support 2 stories ago?
And you know what? I dropped the ball.
Yeah. No, apology accepted.
This is on me.
I still want it.
Thank you. All right, there we go. Thank you. All right, in part 2 of Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths, there was a part 1 of this. The Monitor is recruiting heroes from across the multiverse to fight the Anti-Monitor. Here, producer Jim Krieg talks and addresses the challenges of merging the stories. Here we go.
We couldn't do a one-for-one adaptation because the world of DC Comics in 1985 was very different than the one today. We didn't really have to address Anthro, the Cave Boy, or Orion. There were certain characters that were being pushed at the time that are footnotes now.
What the Justice League Crisis on Infinite Earths Part 2 is streaming on Max. All right, next clip. On last season of the Big Door Prize, a machine appeared in the grocery store of a small town that was seemingly able to predict the life potential of those who consult it. And here, Chris O'Dowd talks about the growth of his super content character.
Now we're seeing the consequences of the mindset change. And in season 2, that kind of plays out, where all the seeds that have been planted after the Morpho machine are now sprouting. Some of them are weeds, and some of them may be fruitful, but that's what I suppose the season will show us.
Yeah!
Anybody ever heard of this?
I've heard of it. I've not watched it. I don't know whether it's. I like him a lot.
I like Chris
him.
O'Dowd.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorites. But
Oh, wait, yes.
You watched it, Case?
I have. Yeah. But I didn't finish it. I think I watched like maybe 2 episodes.
Well, you were getting ready for New Kids on the Block.
I was
Day.
getting, yeah. Well, I was researching it.
All
I
right,
did
by the-
find out some information.
we do have the research here. In 1989, the city of Boston declared April 24th New Kids on the Block Day, and today we celebrate 35 years of hanging tough.
Yes, we are hanging tough.
To celebrate this year, the band is releasing a new song called A Love Like This. They added Magic Summer Tour Magic Packs, which are a 4-pack of tickets for $89 plus fees. And the Magic Summer Tour with New Kids, Paula Abdul and DJ Jazzy Jeff comes to the Man on August 15th. So there you go. Everything you needed to know right
All
there in
right.
a nutshell.
You know who declared it initially?
No.
Michael Dukakis.
Michael Dukakis.
serious?
I
I'm
have
not
pajamas
kidding.
with him
I
on
know.
it.
That's the only reason I brought it up.
Oh, my God.
Is that what cost him the election?
Yes. Yeah. That and the tank thing.
Yeah. All right. Happy New Kids on the Block Day. We're going to take a break because we got a lot going on today. We have a number of guests. Zack Snyder is joining us. Tom Green will be in our studio. Adam Crognale is going to be here. He's the bat boy of the Phils. He's got a fascinating story, so we're going to talk to him as well. We have a lot going on. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Traffic on 93.3 WMMR.
All right, thanks, Kath. A lot happening on the show today. Zack Snyder's joining us. Tom Green will be in our studio. We have the bat boy of the Phillies stopping by. I'm looking forward to talking to him, Adam Crognale. But right now, at this very moment, I think we need to dive into some surveys. Survey says... We haven't done this in a little while.
I love this. A stellar array of bad surveys that were sent on a daily basis.
A lot of them are just...
Horrible.
I'll lead. Well, I have a question first.
All right.
Have I done this one already? Because I think I left some in my stack here.
Yeah.
In a survey of 1,117 U.S. adults, how often do you drink wine? Did we do that one last time?
Oh, yes.
I don't
we
know.
did
Let's
that.
do it again.
I knew it.
Yeah.
Killed
We
our
did.
short-term
Kathy
memory.
can demonstrate for us.
All right, 2% said daily.
Oh, right. Yeah, we
did this last
week.
we
Yeah,
did.
Okay,
yeah,
all right,
yeah.
we did it. All right,
Uh-huh.
never mind. All right, now I want to. I'm gonna one of the really stupid ones.
And they honestly, so you know what though? I initially the whole concept was, can you believe how stupid these surveys are? And they are stupid.
Yeah.
But they still get you going.
They lead to some conversations. All right, so in a survey of 2,000 U.S. basketball fans,
Okay.
79. I know this will shock you.
Yeah.
79% have a favorite team.
All right. Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
That's cool.
So I'm
Actually, I think
curious
that's kinda
about
low.
Actually, it is.
the percentage that doesn't.
Yeah, they're a basketball fan, but they don't have a favorite team. That is
Yeah.
interesting.
I
So,
wonder maybe if they don't live near like a major metropolitan area.
Possibly.
You know, they just like the league or they like the sport.
but even so, you kind of gravitate
Yeah.
towards a
Yeah.
team for whatever reason.
But
you
where
know?
does like North Dakota, where's
North
their
or South
allegiance?
Dakota. Yeah.
No, I mean, I know.
Are they Nuggets fans?
Yeah.
They
That's north of South Dakota, right?
See, if you were in North Dakota, I would probably be a Minnesota Timberwolves fan.
Yes.
Where's Missouri?
Yeah.
It's just under Iowa. So yeah, that's a good question. I wonder why 20%, 21% of the people don't really have a favorite team. Interesting. 24% of Southerners drown their sorrow. Okay, here you go.
Okay.
This is
it's
this-
already off to a good start.
Basketball fans.
All right.
24% of Southerners drown their sorrows in snacks if their team loses.
Okay.
Snacks.
Nick, if you lived in Pittsburgh and you don't have a professional basketball team, do you just not? I mean, you can't be a Cleveland fan. That would be sacrilege.
Yeah, that's a
and
good
then
question.
a Sixers fan as well. So
Pittsburgh fans don't normally like aligning with anything Philadelphia related.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe you drift to New York or DC or something like that. But that's a good question, Case. I don't know what Pittsburgh fan. Maybe Indiana Pacers. Talking about those snacks, though, Preston. And I know we're not sports talk, obviously.
Sorry.
But if what's that?
It's all right.
No. I mean, like if the Sixers end up losing this series, there's going to be a lot of depressed Philadelphians because the way that they lost the other
Yes.
night, it's really, I think it's going to linger with people for a while.
They'll be
People are
eating
gonna
a lot of
pissed.
snacks.
Well, there's going to be a lot of snacks in town.
Especially with the acknowledgement that mistakes were made.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just don't understand how people can gravitate towards sports radio after a loss like that. Like, I just don't. I'm like, I can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do anything sports. Like it's like
You want to isolate yourself?
well, kind of like a hangover, right, Press? When you wake up and you're really, really hungover, like there's certain things that are like the furthest thing from your mind.
Sure.
And yesterday, and even today, like I couldn't even watch the Phillies yesterday. Not because they were getting their asses handed to them, but like I just couldn't do anything sports.
Let me ask you, pertaining to this, when you guys get depressed, do you eat?
I do.
Sometimes, yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't get hungry. I lose my appetite if I'm depressed or
I get
torn up.
Steve, I get like angry and I'm like, F it. I'm having
Totally.
M&Ms.
Rack-a-lamb.
Well, yeah, because what you want to do is you want to
F it,
fill
seafood.
That,
Yeah.
You want to fill that
Void?
that void with something pleasant.
Yes.
And so therefore eating something sweet, having some ice cream or whatever is a replacement or it's a mechanism.
I
So-
lose my appetite.
Really? So you're kind of
That's what I need.
you're kind of toiling over it as opposed to trying to avoid it.
I ball it up
and
shove it way down.
No, but I have a friend who, yes, when she's depressed, she completely like stops eating, and we'll see her and we're like, "You're depressed again, aren't you?"
Right.
Like, because she just gets so thin.
Right. And so you would like to have that.
Yeah, I prefer that than eating.
Yeah.
Don't I look great? I can fit into my prom dress.
No. Okay, so that was a stupid one to pass along. Let's go with this one. And this is fresh in my mind. There was a survey, this is done in the UK. 2,000 UK adults found that, why does it say this?
Why are you saying
20% of respondents consider themselves unlucky, and it says 25% have stepped in dog poop.
Okay.
I guess the whole thing is about I stepped in a fresh pile yesterday barefoot.
Oh!
Did you feel it in your toes?
No, it was more towards the heel. Thank God.
You win, because if you have that toe squeeze,
oh, it's way worse.
you just want to kill yourself.
No, this was in the arch, more towards the heel. And I was in my backyard.
Did it look like you were moonwalking?
Hitting chip shots. Okay, so I set the ball down. I didn't see the pile. I step in it, and immediately I'm like, so I moved the ball and I finished my shot. And then I went inside and I cleaned my foot off.
You're a pro. You're a pro.
Golf took precedent over clean foot.
Well, after I stepped in it, I'm like, well, there's not much I can do about it now.
I would have just stayed out there.
So I wiped my foot off in the grass, and then I went inside and I hopped inside.
Yes.
So,
and then I put my foot up in the sink and washed it off.
your two dogs, are they formidable dookies or appropriate to their size?
Well, Haley is smaller than Rook, so Rook lays the big ones.
All right.
And decent size, but it's still a Yorkie. It's not going to be the size of your dog. Dear God.
You know what
Those piles of crap must be massive.
Yes, but what I'll give you is this: firm, easily picked up,
Good.
easily visible.
Okay.
So
man.
I'll take that.
When there's dog diarrhea is the worst.
I know.
when that happens and you have to clean that
Especially
up.
when you can't finish it all.
Yeah. No, but like when you have to you literally have to hose it off or there's nothing you can do about it.
When it gets, and we all have that look, and you're walking along, and you're in the house, and you start to go, oh
Where
no,
is it?
and you lift up your foot, and it's on the bottom.
Yeah. So I told you guys a story about when I went into Steven Singer Jewelers with a bag of crap in my pocket. Michelle and I are sitting there.
Yes.
And we're like, what is this? Do you smell that?
Yeah. Any
then I
dog
realized-
owner has had that.
I realized that we're reaching my jacket pocket and there's a pile of dog crap. And I'm like, oh no.
There's the smell.
Oh no. So I know why the first part of the survey asked, they found that 20% of respondents consider themselves unlucky because the next survey question or statement by people said 37% would let a bird poop on them because they consider it to be good luck.
Oh, yeah, nah.
I've never understood if a bird craps on you that it's considered good luck. I guess
To me, that
because
seems
the odds-
unfortunate. Yeah.
I guess because the odds are pretty slim that
Right.
poop is going to land on you.
But I know
don't know.
we've all been crapped on, right? At some point by a bird.
Probably.
I've heard there's an adage attached to it, Preston, that that's the worst thing that's going to happen to you that day.
That day.
And that's not that bad. So from there on out, you're going to have nothing but good
Well,
luck.
I also
the
think it pertains to this. If it's a condor, you might think less.
Well, and the chances are pretty good if you're sitting on the beach. Like anytime I've ever been crapped on, I was sitting driving on the beach.
Or boardwalk.
By birds,
Yeah.
you're talking about.
Yeah.
Walking on the boardwalk.
You know what? Wait, there was.
You're kind of attractive.
No, you know what? Actually, I was driving in a car once and had my arm up
You're
on
pretty.
the window. I had my arm up on the window, and sure enough, white bird crap comes flying down.
I will. Go ahead.
Did you remember the time Cyndi Lauper had said a bird crapped in her mouth? Oh my God, I remember that.
lucky.
One of the favorite memories of my my beloved mother. We'd gone out. It was, and we're going out to dinner, and she is done up to the nines. My mom was a very beautiful woman. He goes out right outside the house, walking to the car, and she has that I think I'm looking pretty good look about her. Wham! Bird crap right on her head.
Oh, my
man.
God.
And her laugh after finally, processing it. But yeah, it couldn't have been a more perfectly placed shot.
Do birds know exactly where they're going? Like, are they aiming?
I don't think so.
falls.
I would like to think, that there's less intent, but if not, some birds I need to beat the crap out of.
Yeah. All right. Survey says some other stuff. Let's go to another one here. All right. This is truly a dumb one. And I'll read the headline on this. I don't know who conducted this survey, but
We don't need to know.
It says respondents prefer to use these appliances to heat food.
Okay, so I'm going to guess like the oven or the stove.
What is your preferred
Air
way
fryer
to
now.
heat food? Okay.
Microwave.
Microwave.
Microwave's just the quickest. It doesn't
Right.
come out the best, but
Agreed.
That's where the air
Whatever.
fryer comes in, and you like as if you like a little crisp and you need something cooked on the inside. Throw it in the microwave just for a little bit, and then pop
So
it into
I'll tell
the
you
air.
what's going on at the Morrison estate. We have my wife will use a double boiler. Is that what it is?
yeah.
So she'll reheat sandwiches or things or pizza or stuff like that way. She uses that a lot. Air fryer for fries and things like that. But I end up defaulting to the microwave all the time.
So a double boiler is essentially it's a pot of water that you boil and then you put essentially a bowl on top of it.
Right.
So
She uses that to like reheat a sandwich. Or,
That's
yeah.
interesting.
Okay. I've never tried that. 25% of respondents said a microwave. 24% said a toaster, oven, or air fryer. And another 24% said the oven, the standard oven.
So I want to get a bigger air fryer because Kathy, you just had your kitchen done. They have the microwaves now they're like combo air fryer microwave.
Really?
You know what?
Yeah.
Oh, that was actually something I wanted to bring up to you guys. Does anybody actually know how to use their microwave? There are so many buttons on my microwave. All I do is hit the number and start. I don't even know what the other stuff, how to use the other.
It's funny you should say that because that's exact. I just do it's probably about 3 minutes for this. It has all of these settings for this reheat, preheat,
Yes.
all this other crap, and it's an old one, and the readout is very dim. I can't read that, so now I kind of know by repetition, but I have no idea how to use it the right way.
Kathy, I am going to guess that the overwhelming majority of people incorrectly use their microwave because there are settings for heat, and how it actually works and what things are heated up better using certain settings. I never have. I just hit the, set it on high, 1 minute, go.
For example,
the only one I'll use is the popcorn
that's the only one that works.
setting that actually works properly because you know how easy it is to burn microwave popcorn.
Yeah.
And the popcorn setting works pretty solid.
Do you guys have the add 30 seconds button on your microwave? Yeah, I like that one a lot.
That one's great.
Nick, I might have it. I don't know.
Yeah, with Steve.
I use it all the time.
When I'm making nachos or whatever, and I'll look in the little TV there, and it says they're not quite melted, and I'm like, oh, all right, add 30 seconds.
In fact, Nick, rather than punch in 3 minutes, I'll hit the 30-second thing 6 times.
Dude,
Yep.
Do you know?
Yeah.
Because
really?
you feel like you're cooking a little bit more.
You're like
You feel
programming.
you
You're
have
flying the
some control.
Millennium Falcon. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you feel like you're actually involved in the process at that point.
I think it's the microwave here that you can't enter a time. Like if you hit the number, if I wanted to do 30 seconds.
1941.
When I hit 3, it puts up 3 minutes.
Yes.
Oh,
you can't
Is that
just-
here?
That's right. Yes.
Okay.
That used to be the one in this kitchen, but I don't even know if that one's there anymore.
Yeah, no, there's one.
It's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you go 88 miles an hour, you can go back to 1955.
How often do you guys use your toaster ovens?
I don't have a
I don't have
toaster
one.
oven.
Oh, no kidding.
We use our toaster a fair amount.
Yes.
I like that.
I have both.
Yeah.
And I use the toaster oven not nearly as frequently as I think I should.
Okay.
I'm going to recommend something to you. I got this. I was a sucker I saw pop up online, And it is a digital toaster with a screen, and you pick your bagel or whatever, and it has the different colors as far as to how much you want it done.
You want.
Sure.
And let me tell you, I thought I was a massive sucker when I bought this. I was ready to be furious with it. People are in awe of this toaster.
Oh, excellent.
So you can take and in fact it has, you can put if you want to make a panini, it's not this one, Connor, but it actually has a visual readout. Connor put one up on the screen, but there is one that actually, the one that I have, you can actually has like a panini attachment.
Oh.
You can put it in. It doesn't drip into the.
Doesn't drip. The whole goddamn thing. I tell you, it's a revelation.
Nice.
That's one of the last 9 things that I purchased was good.
But it seems like everybody's pretty evenly split on microwave, toaster oven, or air fryer, and oven. So we have our own preferred ways.
If I'm going to do like
reheating food,
French bread pizza, I like the toaster oven. Like if I'm going to cracker melts or something like that.
Sure.
Any kind of melt.
Cracker melts?
Well, like put saltines in there and the
it's
cheese.
a pejorative.
Put cheese on it. It's not a pejorative. It's a snack.
We do that with
This cracker melts.
I'm laughing at French bread pizza. I haven't had that since I was in 6th grade.
Dude,
so good though, right?
That
I
was
all the time.
I used to love
all the time.
French bread pizza.
Yeah, microbake that crap.
I almost spent like half a year living on French bread pizza.
Wait, Casey, you go combo action? You do microwave?
Yeah, because I don't got the time.
I see.
No, I have the time. I don't have the patience.
You choose not to.
Yeah.
Right. So which comes first? The microwave or
microwave
the
first.
Gotcha.
And then you bake it. So I think you microwave it for 2 minutes, and then you only bake it for like 5.
Yes.
You're good to go.
Are you making your own French bread toast?
Yeah.
Or pizza?
You know
okay.
Oh, no. Well, no, I'm not that good. I just Stouffer's pepperoni.
Stouffer's. Stouffer's.
You want to do a deep dive on this, Preston?
Yeah.
So when you get a baguette, the baguette's freshness, this is from your Acme Bakery, lasts about a day and a half, right?
Yes.
After that, it starts to get a little stale. However, you can slice said baguette, apply that to your French bread pizza. So
Sure.
Then you get the tomato sauce out. I like to buy freshly shredded mozzarella cheese. So put that on the top. And then, if I'm really bold, toppings.
All right.
Yeah.
Pepperoni, onions, stuff like
usually
that.
they got onions and peppers. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know what used to rock my world, and I would never get it on a regular pizza? The sausage.
Oh, yeah.
French bread pizza.
Do you don't grill the sausage separately?
Where are the sausages?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't do anything separately. I put it in the microwave.
Pre-bought sausage.
Yeah.
I am pro loose sausage on a pizza.
Loose sausage. Okay, yeah. Rochelle likes that too.
We did come up with our own service.
I like it as well.
Yeah. I didn't know that you could buy sausage loose. I just I told you about the
Look at that slutty sausage.
Listen, sometimes you need a little help, right? And you don't have the Riz, so you just need the loose sausage.
Sure.
No.
What the hell's going on?
I made
when
that.
you're hitting on a sausage.
I told you about the cheese dip that I made, and I had to put loose sausage in it. I didn't know that you could buy it like that from Jimmy Dean's or
And is that
whatever.
pre-cooked?
Wait, you mean in the in the little roll? And you didn't know?
I never knew that.
Well, I mean, you can cut that into sections and make your little breakfast sausage
Sure.
like a patty.
Why didn't
but
you call it Preston?
All you got to do is throw the whole thing in and okay. Well, welcome to the
club.
Preston,
Welcome
I
to the
have a
club.
question about loose sausage.
Yeah. Casey, we
in
can
the morning.
we can start.
Dude, my alarm's about to go off.
Let's start the loose sausage club.
Hey, members of the Loose Sausage Club, we convene to create the ultimate French bread pizza.
Oh, that's a band name. I'm writing that
You guys
down now.
need shirts.
Yes. The loose sausage. I'm writing this down.
Mr. Frost, tell us about your loose sausage experience. The bell tolls 8. We must return to our normal life.
At 8? When they go back.
I'll never forget my first experience inside the halls of the Loose Sausage Club.
They've lowered you down into a pit with only one other member that you can share
Everyone's
your
wearing-
secret loose sausage
Right.
stories with.
Eyes wide shut masks.
If you ask for a sausage pizza from Imperial or Pica's, they give you a loose sausage.
Right.
And you don't have to ask for loose sausage, right?
No. That's just how
That's
it
how it
comes.
shows up.
Yeah.
I went to a place where they just put it right there, and it was weird because it was a doctor's office.
Oh, my God. Wow.
Why are you giving me loose sausage?
It's a bag full of loose sausage for you.
Well, we ran out of lollipops.
Most pizza places do the loose sausage.
Yeah, there's some that don't, and and that's fine. But
Some do like a sliced sausage thing.
yeah,
Okay.
I'm not down with that.
Well, yesterday was election day. There was one of the bills was to
That's why I got out
more
and voted.
loose sausage.
To create more loose sausage and diversity.
Members of the Loose Sausage Club.
Okay.
I bet you say that to all the guys.
All right, we'll move on to another survey. This is Survey Says, by the way. In a survey of over 18,000 U.S. adults throughout your life, the question was posed, throughout your life, how many people have you been in love with?
How many people have you been? Let's start with the Inquisitor, you yourself.
There are two people that I have told that I loved and meant it. I never. Let me preface that. I've never told someone and not meant it.
There's only. I saw your eyes roll white when you said that. Holy crap!
No.
We're welcoming a new member to the Loose Sausage Club, who will be sleeping over the garage.
No, there are only two people I've told that I loved it, and we saw a picture of her the other day. Patty, my date that we had a picture of here. She and I were in love, and then Rochelle is the only person that I've ever actually been in love with before. Now,
yeah,
that is that's reciprocal love. I have had crushes on other people that I felt I was in love with, but that never came together.
Was Patty high school?
I had just graduated. And she was still in high school.
That's what I'm wondering. Like, does high school count?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. If you were in love and you said,
if you
I
feel
love
your
you,
love,
and they love you back, yes, I think that counts.
Oh.
So how many, Kathy?
Well, I was going to say, I don't, because I think that I probably loved someone in high school, but we didn't say it to each other. I wasn't I wasn't having sex in high school, so I didn't have that bond. I think maybe that was later on.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that I probably loved that person.
Okay.
How many?
So 3.
3.
All right. Anybody else?
74.
Yeah.
I mean, I fell in love
easily.
Yes, easily. And
74.
yeah, I mean, it started in high school, it continued through college, and then in my early 20s, and then I got married, and I was certainly in love with my wife, and then I got divorced, and then I'm in love with my fiance. But I
kiss you.
I was that guy for sure. I was Namath for a stretch. But yeah, when you talk about that time in your life or going through those phases, at that moment, I felt like I was in love with those people.
Your emotions are absolutely real and valid at
looking back
years old.
on it,
Yeah,
you think differently, but at the time, I'm like, I'm in love with this
you,
person.
Casey?
Yeah, I had a girlfriend in 8th grade, and I was absolutely head over heels in love with her.
Okay.
And so that was the first, and then I had a couple after that.
How many would you say? Because I'm going to go through the results here in a second.
4.
Okay. Steve, how about you?
So I'd say probably about 3.
Okay.
But I'd say though it's weird because contextually, if I think of the way how much I love Claire, my wife, back. Though I was in love, but I was not in love like this.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah. Same here. It doesn't take away from any of that.
Yeah, like the younger, now I think of because you said you were even younger, Casey. I think of my first boyfriend. But was that love or did I just?
I don't know.
It was kind of a first.
Yeah.
Marissa, how many?
Yeah, like Nick, I think I've reevaluated what love is after watching that. No, the Pamela Anderson documentary. Did anybody watch that? She just talks about how much she loves love.
Right,
So
falling in love,
she likes falling in love. So I think 1, 2, 3. I think 4.
Okay, 4.
Okay.
4.
So here are the results. 4% said none.
Wow.
17%
It's the
said
same people can't pick a basketball team.
17% said one person. 24% said 2, and that's the highest of the answers. 19% said 3, so that comes in second place. And then 1 would be third place. 9% said 4, 4% said 5, and then 10% of the respondents said more than 5
Wait,
people
so
they've been in love with.
What's the most? What is the most common?
2.
2. Okay.
And
This is romantic love that we're talking about, not love for your mother and
not relative love.
kids.
So it goes 2, 3, and 1.
Okay.
I guess I want to know what love is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want you to show me.
Now, it's a follow-up question. We have to take a break here shortly because we're going live on Fox Good Day this morning. In that same survey, the question was, have you ever been in love with more than one person at a time?
You mean like a threesome?
I guess so.
I love you. And I love you.
And you stopped doing that to my butt.
I've never been in love with somebody with more than one person at the same time. No. That's never happened.
Have you, Kathy?
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We'll just leave it there.
It was crossover.
This is gonna be a threesome, but without sex.
Still not having sex.
We literally gonna play Parcheesi.
We're actually playing the game Parcheesi. So 27% said yes and 64% said no. So the majority is no, they have not been. All right, we'll do maybe one more survey, and then we'll wrap it up. This is survey says. All right, I think I already did that one last time. How about, that's a romantic one. We just did that one.
We're in the romantic mood if you want.
Yeah.
We're already in the mood.
Yeah,
Give it to us.
Okay, all right, we'll go with this.
Just give me some wine.
Would you
succulents.
Would you ever? I know the answer to this.
right,
Would you
good.
ever consider being in an open or polyamorous relationship? Yeah. So, 60% said definitely not. So the overwhelming majority.
I don't judge, but it would not be for me.
I mean, I don't know.
18. Shut up.
How many friends do you have who play Parcheesi?
I'll tell you what. I think that this is an evolving question. I think if you ask this generationally, people in their teens and their 20s, the answer is going to be a lot more yes.
Yeah.
Because I think that the idea of monogamy with one person for the rest of your life is slowly eroding. I'm not saying it's outdated or even non-existent anymore. People obviously still getting married, but I think that open relationships or the notion that one person fulfilling all of your love needs for the rest of your entire life, that's starting to fade away.
Well, I think it might be a different conversation because I do believe in
Gangbangs.
Those are good.
Yeah.
I've seen the video and they look fun. But
They look like a blast.
But I believe that if a relationship is not working out, even if you've already committed to marriage, that you need to move on to someone else. That it is if you try to force to make things happen, it's counterproductive, and most of the time it's going to go bad. But as far as being in multiple relationships at the same time, I think, which is what it means here, open relationships, polyamorous relationships, I think that brings its set of complications.
It does.
Well, and I think
because everyone resets the microwave their own way. You don't know how to use it.
Nick, I was just going to say, I agree with you slightly, but disagree also because, I think this generation is more open to it, but it also depends on the person. Like, I'm a type of person where I'll murder someone else. So, you know what I mean? And if there could be a younger person just like that and can't handle other people in the relationship.
I want to know what love is.
Thank you, Marissa.
That is the official song of the loose sausage.
I never would have guessed. Foreigner, who's about to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, was the theme to the Loose Sausage Club. Wow. All right, we got to wrap up the surveys, so thank you for playing along, listening along.
It was good. It was good.
We got stuff to get to. We are going to go live on Fox Good Day this morning. A little TV time with us here shortly. But when we return, we will also get to the Bizarre File and your first shot at winning $1,000 with Good Money It. So don't miss it. We'll be right back. Sublime at 93.3 WMMR. President Steve Show. We're going live.
President Steve,
right now.
This new survey says that most people take their first drink. Well, I'll ask you guys and the whole staff over there. When do you think it's okay to have your first alcoholic drink of the day? What hour? Would you wait till afternoon?
Wow. Kathy says now.
Kathy's drinking as we speak. Okay, so that's a fair question.
It's a loaded question, no pun intended.
I think anything before lunch, you might have an issue.
Yeah, I think so too. The survey said that in Pennsylvania, they broke it down by states. In Pennsylvania, it's 2:30 in the afternoon.
Oh,
that's okay.
That seems reasonable. Actually, that's a little bit later than I might have thought for Pennsylvania, but because they're the cocktail for lunch. Like, is an occasional. To me, I think that might raise an eyebrow or two. But I think anything before noon is probably going to be like, really? But I don't drink, so I don't know really the
I've backed
what the
off
kids are doing.
I've backed off of my day drinking in recent years.
You had to, right?
It's just it wears me out, or I can get like
You
a
got
headache,
tired.
or I get really tired, and so I'm holding on. I'm mainly
Back in the day, I used to. I could start as early as 11 o'clock in the morning.
11. Okay, would that be
Yeah.
prompted by any special occasion or just, hey, it's Thursday?
No.
Yeah.
It was normally it was a Monday. I used to meet a friend of mine Monday at the Red Owl Tavern at 11 o'clock in the morning. But then I switched over when the Four Seasons was built. You know, the top floor of the Four Seasons at 11 o'clock in the morning. We're the only ones in there.
I bet.
I wonder why.
Mike.
I don't think this is a black and white question. I think there is too many variables.
There are a lot of
that
variables.
need to be asked. And
because what time zone are you in?
That and what are your work hours?
Is it
too.
True.
Right? I was going to say that because there's a place that I've been to where they have happy hour at like 8 a.m. because if you work in a hospital and you do the overnight, you're done.
When you walk in,
So
does
that's
everyone
your
go?
5 o'clock.
When you walk in there, Alex, does everyone go, Alex?
And Mike and Alex, I'll give you guys another caveat, and this is if you're going to the airport and you're leaving for vacation, it really doesn't matter what time of day it is.
Oh, my God.
You can start
Very
drinking
true.
whenever you want.
Yeah.
And on weekends, when people do brunch, they'll have mimosas in the
That's
morning.
true.
Like 10:30,
so
11.
sometimes it depends on the type of drink.
But Nick is right. The airport, without
Yes.
question. Some people, if you're traveling, it's like, well, I guess I have to drink today. Honestly,
What if you're a pilot and you have an especially long flight ahead of you? You got to knock back a few.
God.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
No, I would say this is
so
that
true.
you look at people in the natural inclination is if you go by a bar and the doors open or something at 10:30 in the morning and you see people in there, you go, oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah. I think that's pushing it.
I think Friday of Memorial Day, it's okay at 7 o'clock in the
Yes,
morning.
that's right.
Yeah.
As long as you're in North Wildwood at Keenan.
Yes.
You wouldn't believe it.
and that's perfectly fine.
So, like I said, they broke it down by state, and apparently Wyoming starts drinking the earliest. They say noon that it's okay. And then folks in North Dakota and Montana wait the longest. They wait till 4:30 in the afternoon.
Oh,
Wow.
Wow, okay, because those are all right there next to each other. That's interesting.
I know, they're all clustered together.
That is interesting.
Well,
You know, as you brought that up, I have had drinks at 6 in the morning going on a flight.
Yes.
yeah, absolutely.
The
Smart.
bar is right there.
Yeah, you're planning ahead.
By the gate.
It gets you through it.
Oh, God.
You know?
That's right. All right, guys, see you next week.
Have a good one.
Take care, guys. We'll see you. All right,
Lord.
so we
good, everybody.
are.
Drink up. Today is Wednesday.
Happy birthday, Alex.
Oh, is it her birthday?
Yeah, Marissa just told me.
Did not know that. Wow. All right. Well, it's 8 a.m. So Casey,
let's
not
switch
8.
things up.
Why does it say?
It is 8
It is 8 a.m.
What
I
did
was
you
thinking
think?
10.
You drinking?
Dude, I should be. I absolutely should be. It is 8, and that means it is time to do this.
93.3 WMMR Philadelphia. It's time for a Good Money It keyword.
All right, keyword is stock, S-T-O-C-K. We'll give you until 15 minutes after the hour to enter that. 3 ways to do it. Go to the WMMR.com website or the MMR app, or you can text the word stock to our special contest short code number, which is 45911. One random entry wins $1,000 in our company-wide contest, and each winner gets a call from Beasley. Make sure you answer your phone. Contest rules available at WMMR.com, and it's sponsored by McLaughlin Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. So the word for you to enter again is stock, S-T-O-C-K. So make sure that you do that right now. We're going to take a look at traffic before we get to the B file. So, Kathy, what's going on so far this morning?
We are not going to take a look at anything because there is literally not one thing on my screen.
There is, how the bombs fly?
No, clearly there's something
There's
wrong.
nothing
This is
on
not-
her screen, Preston.
So
blank.
Okay.
How about I'll just read the sponsor.
Yep.
What would have been a traffic report is brought to you by Piedmont Airlines, no stranger to aircraft maintenance. Piedmont Airlines wants you to join their team. Experienced aircraft maintenance technicians can earn competitive sign-on bonuses and pay. To gauge up your career, visit piedmont-airlines.com. And that's your traffic.
All right, I'll fill that with, I have a couple of shout-outs that I meant to get to the other day and did not, so I apologize. This says, hey, I'd like to request a shout out to my son, Steven, on his birthday, April 20th. He has been a loyal listener for years, probably listening at work. Steven is an amazing guy who is a great son and father, and I love him so much. And a shout out from you guys might really make his day special. It's the quality of the gift that counts. And she writes, P.S., thank you so much. We love you guys. Listen every day. Rage on, bitches. And that is from Virginia. So here's a shout out. Virginia Munden is her name. And then this one says, to the team of people I talk about like we're real life friends. Family circle has been a long time. Daily listeners, myself, a podcaster, always a little behind, and baby brother listens daily. You're all essential part of our daily routine. This shout out goes to him, Phil DeMauro, and his new wifey, Jill DeMauro, congratulating and wishing them the best time at their wedding reception happening Saturday, April 20th. So I guess hopefully they had a good time at Wissahickon Brewery. I thought sending them a big juicy shout out is an appropriate way to show my love. They are the best, and I wish them all the happiness. So that is from Vanessa DiAmuro. And then the last one is, I am writing to wish my beautiful wife, Patty Oxer, a very happy birthday with a nice juicy shout out. She's an amazing mom to our 2 daughters and ringleader that keeps our circus of a family in check. We're both longtime listeners to the show starting from the Y100 days and continue to listen every day after we moved out of the area to Richmond, Virginia. She set our Amazon device to come on every morning at 6:15 to play your show and plays MMR the rest of the day as she works. Thank you and the rest of the crew for laughs and keeping our mornings tolerable. By Presbo, and that's from Jason. So Jason wants his shout out. And there you go. Thank you, guys.
Hi, Presbo.
All right, let's do the Bizarre File.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by Monster Jam, the only place to see the legendary Gravedigger tear up the dirt. See racing, big air, and backflips. Monster Jam roars into Lincoln Financial Field, and that is on May 4th. I thought this would be a fun one to start with. A California mother is speaking out after accidentally inviting all 487 of her phone contacts for her daughter's upcoming first birthday party.
Oh, man. Oh, Jesus.
It gets better. Emily King, who shared the incident on a now viral TikTok video, told Good Morning America she still vividly remembers the sinking feeling she had when she realized that she had made a giant mistake. She said, I kind of immediately knew, and it was like, wait, something's wrong. This is not happening. All the blood rushed from my body. She noticed the online invitation service that she was using sent a digital invitation to her entire list after she had imported her phone contacts to the platform. King said that when she was setting up her daughter Ivy's birthday party invitation, she noticed Evite, the service that she was using on her phone, offered an option to import the contact information of potential guests. She said, I see this tab says import guests. All right, great. So she thought it was perfect. She explained of her thought process, saying after importing her contacts, she thought she would be able to select which one of them would receive an invitation, but that wasn't the case. She said, it took me to the actual invitation page, and it says Ivy's first birthday, and at the bottom it said guests 487. So I was mortified. And it's everyone I had ever put in my phone, everyone that I've ever emailed through my job. She was confused at first and then unnerved that acquaintances she had only met once, including her coworkers and students, were included in the guest list in addition to close family and friends. Now, the kicker was, too, that everyone received a text message invitation based on what they were labeled in her phone contacts list.
No.
So she said it's like cute boy from the bar or old man neighbor or Derek eye roll emoji. And I hit this girl's car in a grocery store parking lot once, and that one said Jess hit car in parking lot. So all these people, they said they're on their invite list, and that's how they received their invite in their phone.
That would be devastating.
Wow.
Because Nick, you would get one that would say Nick what the F.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
must be from Steve.
She deleted the party event, but the invitation text messages had already been sent out, and everyone sent them out.
I'm curious, any report on the response back?
No. In this particular story, I didn't see anything about people getting back to her and what they had to say, but that's
Do you think if you were to send out a blanket invitation to everyone in your contact, what do you think the percentage? Because I think most people go, what the hell is this? And blow it off.
Totally.
Right.
Yeah, not that many, because especially they see first birthday party.
Yeah.
I'm out. A truck driver in Philadelphia was woken from sleep early Friday morning to find a dozen thieves stealing around $30,000 worth of snow crab from his refrigerated vehicle. The driver tried to stop the heist, which occurred around 5:30 a.m. in the Walmart parking lot, 4300 block of Byberry Road, but ended up, quote, banged up a little bit and missing 100 boxes of Grandpa Harvey snow crabs.
Grandpa Harvey snow crabs?
I guess that
sounds delish.
Yeah. Police added that when the driver exited his truck to investigate, he confronted the 12 men, possibly in their 30s, who wore dark clothing and face coverings before several of them took his cell phone and began to punch and kick him.
What's the street value of that amount of snow crab?
$30,000.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that.
The thieves then fled in 4 or more SUVs. And it's not the first time that Walmart was the site of a major truck robbery. That's the same place where $7.5 million dimes worth about $750,000 were stolen. It was the same parking lot.
Oh, wow.
And I don't know whatever happened with the dimes that were stolen. Do you guys remember a follow-up on that?
No, never heard anything.
Yeah.
No.
So they may have gotten away with it, and maybe now they're after crab. I don't know. All right, a teenage boy, this is in England, or no, I think actually it might be Ireland, has been convicted of outraging public decency after being seen doing a disgusting act with a horse.
Oh, no.
Magistrates heard how the 17-year-old, who cannot be named, was spotted by a woman using binoculars to check on horses in a field in Blythe. She became concerned when she saw a male lifting up the tails of the horses. She went outside to stop him, but he saw her and escaped. And she said, I think I shouted, "Yeah, you better get out of the field. What in the hell are you doing with the horses?"
Having sex with a horse.
The woman's partner said her actions drew his attention, and he looked through the binoculars. He said he saw the teenager holding one of the tails of a horse with his right hand, with his right hand, and penetrating the horse with his left hand.
Oh, no.
This gets better. He said he was stroking the horse down its neck and down its rear, and then he proceeded to pick the horse's tail up and basically inserted his hand. I thought to myself for a minute, what have you just seen? Were you sure? So I picked up the binoculars and had another look, and that's when I realized that he had his whole hand in there.
Jeez.
The man called the police and stopped the teenager from riding away on his bike. He said, I went up to him, wound the window down, asked him to stop so I could speak to him. He said, I love horses, man, and I wouldn't do anything to hurt one.
No,
and I said, stop, we need to talk. He didn't want to, and he said no. The man said the teenager appeared to have a mark on his left arm, and there was a smell which he had never smelt before. The court heard how
Sweet
police
mother of God.
arrived at the scene, spoke to the couple, took the teen home, and explained the accusation to his parents.
Your son appears to enjoy fisting horses.
The prosecutor, Sarah O'Neill, said it's accepted this young man had some substance on his arm that had a smell.
Yeah.
It appeared to be a sticky type of liquid on his arm. Police officer attended the scene said that the teenager had something on his arm which could have been feces, but he wasn't willing to touch it or
Gary.
smell it for health and safety reasons. He admitted it could have been mud.
Yeah.
The teenager told the court that he had gone into the field to stroke the horses and that he did not lift up the horse's tail or penetrate it. When Ms. O'Neill put to him that the male witness said his hand went on the horse, he said, yeah, that didn't happen. He said he ran away because he knew he shouldn't have been in the field, and he said the substance on his hands was mud from building jumps for his bike.
So when you go to pet a horse, do you naturally gravitate towards its ass, or do you pet its face, its head?
Yeah, probably its head.
Yeah.
The teenager's dad said that he had asked his son if he had committed the crime, and he categorically said he 100% denies it. And asked if he believed him. He said, I do. He's an honest lad.
He is.
He said that he checked his son's hands and arms, and he said they didn't have horse's manure or excrement on them.
By the way, son, I get off on the same. It's a blast, it ain't. Your mom, she's not as randy as she used to be.
The teen pled not guilty to outraging public decency, but following a trial, he was convicted of the charge, and he will be sentenced in the following months.
Yeah.
That's disturbing.
It's horrific.
Yeah, and that's why it's in the bizarre file this morning. Sorry, it was kind of a lengthy one. But
no, but that was worth it.
Some details I wanted to leave in that particular story. All right, you have about 3.5 minutes left to enter the word stock for your chance of winning $1,000. MMR's Good Morning It is happening as we speak, so do that now. The word is stock, And you can go through WMMR.com, you can go through the MMR app, or you can text it to 45911. Our list of guests start to arrive when we return. Stay with us. We'll be back in a moment.
Back on 93.3 WMMR.
Hey, before we get to our guest, I want to mention Kathy's Cuts, Wigs for Kids. That is coming up. I'm looking for the info here. Make sure I have it correctly, but you can sign up for this now. 3 different locations for you to do so at WMMR.com. And the event is taking place Monday, May 6th. Gravity Hair Salon in Ambler, David Arnold Salon in Jenkintown, and Vibe Salon, Mount Laurel, New Jersey. We got to fill these spaces up. So get signed up now and keep in mind, not only do you get your hair cut, you get it styled, you get an awesome gift bag from True Beauty Concepts. Kathy is going to be broadcasting from 2 different locations. Jackie Bam Bam will be broadcasting live from one of those locations on our air.
And then ultimately somebody's life is going to be made a little bit better by having this wig available to them, and will change things around. So you're doing a wonderful thing by doing it.
Yeah. How many years now, by the way, Kathy?
Oh my gosh. Did they say 15 maybe?
Wow. Wow.
So this is the 12th anniversary.
No, it would be 15.
I'm very bad with
So sign up now. WMMR.com is where you need to do that. All right. We have a guest who is in our studio right now, and he's doing some great things for charitable benefits as well. One that Nick is near and dear to, the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. And he's got a cool gig.
Yeah, he sure does.
He is the bat boy for the Phillies. And we are happy to welcome to the studio this morning, Adam Crognale.
Yeah.
Adam, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Nice to see you. So first and foremost, I'm going to start with, what is the preferred way to butcher your last name? Now, I think I said it correctly. Crognale, right?
Crognale. I mean,
Crognale.
pretty close. Yeah.
But you get Crognale?
Oh, yeah.
That one all the time.
All the time.
What's the one that's most frequent?
Crognale is the most frequent. I've gotten Chronicle. I don't know where they got their second N from, but yeah, I've gotten a lot of things over the years.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
What is the derivation of that? What is it? Is that
Italian?
Italian.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
All right. How long have you been bat boy for the Phils now?
Yeah, so this is my 4th year doing it.
Okay.
I started, my start was actually pretty weird. It was 2020 was supposed to be my start. So
that didn't work out.
Right, exactly. I was hired in the off season, and then COVID hits, right? So I didn't end up bat boying at all that year. So I started in 21. So technically I say this is my 4th year doing the gig, and so far it's been pretty exciting. Harper was the MVP that first year, and then we know what's happened the past 2 years. So it's been pretty great.
I remember as a kid being at a baseball game and going, who's that little guy, number 88 down there? Because they used to have a BB on the back of their jerseys for bat boy. That's not done anymore.
Right, yeah. Certain teams still do it.
Do they?
Yeah, because we see the away jerseys come in sometimes, and certain jerseys have them, and some of them are blank. I've had a couple over the years that say bat boy. It's very hit or miss. I don't even know who makes those decisions, but...
All right, so you're 25 years old.
Correct.
Bat boy, you think, young man. You think of teenage or something like that. But you started when you were 21, I assume, then, or 20.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah, somewhere around that time.
I don't actually know. I guess I would have been 21, yeah.
Now, we're going to get to your connection with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society and the fact that you're a cancer survivor in a moment. But I am curious how one becomes... in that position, becomes a bat boy. What did you have to do to get that job?
Yeah, so ironically, with everything that I'm here for today, I started with a game day staff position in Phillies Charities. Because of my background, I had a passion for that, and luckily I was able to get a job in that field and just selling 50-50 raffle tickets. And I made it a personal goal to really kind of change how much money was coming in. And at the time I started, this was 2019. So attendance was down, so the money was down too for those raffles. I started kind of a new system where instead of, you'll see there's kiosks.
Right.
I started basically being like a food vendor and just going down each aisle.
Yeah.
And you'd be shocked how many people are lazy. And when they come right to you, they're a lot more likely to buy a ticket. So I was proud to say, like, I was bringing in a third or a fourth of the money each night. And I think that really catapulted me to being somebody that stood out.
Yeah, they saw you as a go-getter.
Right. Yeah. And then I heard about the job being already there and applied. And fortunately, I was the one that got the job when the interviews came out.
Do you know Is it just you? Is it just one?
Yeah, I'm the only one on the home side. We have one on the away side as well, but yeah, I'm the only one.
Okay, so you
with
don't
home.
travel with the team?
Correct. Right now, I have in the past for certain road trips, and I was in Houston for the World Series in 22, which was an unreal experience. I'll never forget it, obviously. But yeah, just being around the guys in any way has been amazing.
How often does that job turn over, or do you have it as long as they will have you, or how does it work
when you're in a wheelchair?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Basically, for me, I've just done everything I can to be somebody that was doing everything right and helping the guys as much as I can. And there's no real limit per se, but at the same time, like, obviously there's going to be a time where it comes to an end, but right now we're in such a dream situation where we have a contending team and a core that is built with the contracts. And I don't think we want to change much. And honestly, I'm not trying to go anywhere. It's been a lot of fun, and yeah, I'm really happy to still be here.
Adam, I'm a lifelong Phils fan. I watch as many games as I can, even in the crummier seasons. But I think I started noticing you in 2022 as the team started playing well and, playoffs seemed possible. And the John Kruk and Tom McCarthy started talking about you a little bit. They started noticing you as well. And then last year, Steve and I were paying attention to a whole bunch of different things Phillies related. And Steve sent me an article about you in the Philadelphia Inquirer. And you've really started to gain and build a name for yourself. When did you start to realize, hey, actually, I kind of am something here, and not just a part of the team?
Yeah, it's pretty surreal, and honestly, like, sometimes I really don't think of it that way still, just because for me, I'm just there to help, and the person I am, I want to do everything to the best of my ability. And I did start to notice, and I'm sure the pitch clock had a lot to do with that, but that was the following year. That was 23.
Because you would sprint out there.
Right. And that's really just who I am as a person. I give 110% with everything. I don't take life for granted, obviously. And because of that, like, when there's a big hit, I want to be sprinting. I don't want to hold up the game. I'm excited. The fan base gets even more adrenaline going in your body. And, when there's an extra base hit, I'm sprinting out there. And I think people started to notice that. And now it's become like a reputation. And I don't want the saying to be, man, he got slower.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's the last thing in line. Yeah.
Or being in a wheelchair later.
Yeah.
You know?
Let's talk about you not taking life for granted. So I said you're a cancer survivor. Tell us about that whole part of your life.
Yeah. So I was in high school, and I said in a video kind of promoting what I'm here for today, like, that's the time where people are playing sports, running around, having fun, going on vacations. And I was literally on spring break, and I ended up in a hospital over a chop because I was trying out for the baseball team at my high school, and my knee started having excruciating pain. I couldn't even sleep at night. The only thing that would make it better was elevating in water. Okay. Like laying down didn't even make a difference. And I would wake up out of a sound sleep with the pain, and it really sucked. But then as soon as chemotherapy treatment started, the pain went away. I was immobilized because it was weaker.
Let me back up just a second. Sure. So you have this pain. You went to the doctor and they diagnosed you then?
Yeah. So, sorry, I was trying to
it's okay.
speed the story along because it is a long one.
Well, I want to know what type of cancer and the treatment and stuff like that.
So I was over at CHOP, and believe it or not, at first, at first, they didn't really admit me, and they didn't really take the biopsy. I went into surgery, and they did a biopsy, and that's when they found it. And I can't thank the doctor. I believe his name was Dr. Dormans. He was the one that stressed we need to get him into surgery and check him out. And because of that, they found diffuse large B-cell lymphoma of bone in my right knee.
Okay.
So they took some bone marrow out, so then it was weaker. So then it had to be immobilized. But like I then said, then I went into chemotherapy. It was a week-long treatment, so it wasn't short ones where I'd go in for a couple hours. I had a port in my chest, and it was all summer long. And you want to think about an 1.5-inch needle in your chest for a week straight. That was my life over and over again.
Did you immediately start to, once treatment started, notice an alleviation of the pain?
Yeah. That's what was so bizarre. And they tell you that, right?
Yeah.
And a hospital as reputable as CHOP, I trust right away, like, whatever they say, I'm going to go with. Right. I'm going to do everything they say. And it was crazy. As soon as it started, at first it's numb when I first start to come out of surgery, but the pain was gone. It was
now,
crazy.
So obviously we've heard, the effects of chemotherapy can have, the side effects, feeling sick all the time and all kinds of other complications that come along with that. Were you experiencing that?
Believe it or not, not really. And
okay.
I talk about this a lot now, being, in survivorship now. Like, my mindset was such a huge part of everything that I went through, I think, and the support system I had. Primarily, I say that because there was one treatment where it was All-Star Game week, and, you know, I'm a baseball fan, and I really just didn't want to watch the home run derby and everything in a hospital bed. You know, like I said, they're week long.
Yeah.
And I was scheduled to go in on that Monday, the home run derby night, and I'm like saying to my mom as I'm going in, I'm like, I really don't want to do this. And they take the blood count levels, and they weren't ready. It's the only time in my entire rounds of treatment that I wasn't ready. So my mindset wasn't there.
Yeah.
And it wasn't there. Every other time, it was completely
You're
fine.
ready to go. Well, mind over matter is certainly a very feasible thing, and having the right attitude. You've been athletic all your life. Yeah. So that helps as well. But while you're dealing with this, you know, a lot of times you're how do you fight the frustration? If you're that, you know, you're a get up and go, self-activated kind of guy. How did you deal with the frustration? How did you pass the time?
Yeah, I don't know if any of you guys are Friends fans, but Nick at Night and watching Friends with my mom was huge. It was uplifting. It's like, I find it funny. It's a comedy, and that really helped. And like I mentioned, it was during the summer, so watched a lot of baseball games, and I became nocturnal in a sense. So basically, I'd wake up, maybe eat. Appetite was a weird thing. Yeah. But you'd eat. More so force yourself to, just for the sake of like trying to stay healthy, drink a lot, whatever. And then the game would come on, and then Nick at Night after that, get up and do it again, and that's how I'd get through my weeks.
Okay. In 2017, Adam, my nephew Luke, was diagnosed with pre-B ALL leukemia, and so he had to have the port, and he's in remission now. He's doing really well.
Awesome.
And that's how I got involved with Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, LLS. And you talked about, and to Steve's point about, you know, feeling alone and not quite knowing what to do, and needing mental support and social support. And I think that's one of the great things that LLS does, is that they really, you know, right away that you have this community that you didn't even know existed before your diagnosis, right? Yeah. And so you can reach out to an organization like what Leukemia and Lymphoma Society does, and they're there to help support you every step of the way. And Greg Murphy, our friend from the Phillies broadcasting team, he won this award last year, the Visionary of the Year. I was fortunate enough to win it 2 years ago, and you're running for it this year. So when did you start getting involved with LLS, and what can you say about them?
Yeah. So basically, Greg Murphy actually reached out to me and said, hey, I did this last year. There's an interest there if you're interested. And I really didn't think much into it. I was absolutely on board from the get-go, wanting to give back, wanting some sort of way to give back. You know, you think about those nights in the hospital bed. My mom and I used to talk about it all the time. Like, when you get past this, you know, there can be a way to give back later. Mm-hmm. You know, not knowing any idea I'd end up with the Phillies or anything like that on such a platform where it's possible to reach a wider audience. But, you know, when something like this pops onto your phone screen, your email, you know, I immediately called him and got more details and decided pretty much right away that I wanted to do it. And they've been great. You know, I can text, call at any moment and get a call back at a moment's notice. And that's great. Like, there's a support system the entire time. And, you know, they've been doing it for a long time. So I trust a lot of their viewpoints and things that work to reach wider audiences and raise money, which is what we're here to do.
If you're just tuning in, it's Adam Crognale who's joining us, Phillies bat boy, and like Nick said, he's up for the Visionaries of the Year candidate class for 2024. Do people vote for you? Is that how this works?
So it's all money based, actually.
Okay.
It's not like a voting thing, but any amount is accepted. You know, it could be $5, it could be 10, hundreds. That, like, it really doesn't matter. And it comes down to whoever raises the most in the end. And
how can people donate in your name?
Yes. Yeah. So I have a web link up on my social medias. I believe that we are having a post on the website.
Yes, on PrestonandSteve.com as well. Yeah.
So people can go online and check out the link that way. And it's pretty simple. Once you're there, you click on the link and there's a donate big tab, and then you can donate in any way. I think there's a Venmo option, there's credit card, whatever.
And this is why, Preston, I brought Adam up to Garrett Stubbs last week, because and Garrett posted in his stories this weekend about your fundraiser, which is a cool thing to do. So Adam, even though he's in the dugout with the Phillies, can't ask the players.
Right.
But we can ask them.
We can ask. That's right. Absolutely. And you did. And thank you for doing that. All right. So I wanted to ask some specifics about your profession. And I don't know all the positions. I assume there's somebody with the title equipment manager.
Yes.
With the Phils. How closely do you work with that person, and what is their job versus your job?
Yeah, I mean, they're my boss.
Okay.
I'll shout him out, Phil Sheridan. He's on the team right now with them in Cincinnati, and can't thank him enough for all the leadership. And it's really like a three-headed monster. There's Dan O'Rourke, who does a lot of work with the umpires as well as being on the equipment staff, bad orders and things like that for the guys, and Sean Bowers, who does a lot of. He's a lot of our inventory guy, our guy that has to do with all the all the warm-up shirts you see, the jerseys. Like, there's so many different types of articles of clothing, and that's kind of his main bread and butter is the inventory there and distributing and things like that. But there's a whole team there, and that's kind of like they're full-time guys, and they're all there all the time. They sometimes travel with the team. They're the main go-getters, and we're kind of there filling in all the gaps. And like you guys said, like my main thing, I guess, would be on the field and helping the guys get through each game and prepared for each game as far as the equipment they need, it's in the right spot and things like that. But we all have our individual skill set that I think brings something to the table, and I think it translates to what you see on the field, honestly.
Do you only work on game days?
No, not really. I mean, when the team gets back, for example, they're going to get back really late from this West Coast trip, and we're going to go in the middle of the night and unload the truck and get their lockers situated. Like, when we get the duffel bags back, we put everything back up in their lockers, so when they walk in, everything's good to go. There's off days in there, especially in the playoffs. There's a lot of practice days where they're then. A lot of the City Connect stuff added some extra work in there. We're there a lot.
I would think, Steve, because we've said this many times, you can tell a lot about a person on how they treat a server at a restaurant.
That's the real person.
And I would think that the test of a person's a professional baseball player's real personality is how they treat the bad boy.
You know what?
Because
does that hold true in your case?
I don't mean to put you down there, but you're at the lower.
Who's a horrible person?
Aware.
Yeah.
Who's a horrible
I can't stress this enough. We actually don't have anybody that's really a bad person.
We
I'm not
believe it.
kidding.
I believe it. Absolutely.
Like everybody, especially the past couple of years, because of the celebrations, has kind of started to see the side behind the stadium field side.
Yeah.
And they're all great guys.
It is funny, though, because, and I know they're not bad people, but like when a player strikes out and they just stand there in the batter's box and they leave all their equipment there, I'm like, you could have brought that over. Right. I'm like, you get a little bit closer to the dugout.
I'm not going to lie. There's a part of me sometimes. You watch an away game when I'm not there, and you see the different treatment from an away bat boy versus when I'm there with a strikeout. And sometimes the guys are upset. And honestly, I played. I get it. Yeah. Like, sometimes it's not personal. It's never personal.
Right.
But it's funny because sometimes, like, say a guy walks.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I'll get it handed to me, and that doesn't necessarily happen on the road. And it's a nice little smile on my end where I'm watching the guys. I'm like, oh, okay, they kind of like me.
Yeah. Well, that's good. But you in the article that Nick pointed out, the interview, and you point out there's a little bit of minutia to what you do, like the cleats and cleaning that as well.
Yeah.
And you take a lot of pride in that.
Yeah.
What are some of the peripheral things we may not be aware? By the way, what is your technical title?
I always put clubhouse staff / bat boy. I mean, there's a clubhouse staff. I mentioned my 3 bosses that are like the head guys. I might as well. There's 4 part-time guys, myself included, Tim Schmidt, Tim Wild, and Victor Cerna. We all have our little niche that adds to it. Some of those guys rub the baseballs that you see in the games.
Yeah.
Tim Schmidt and I are the main 2 guys that clean cleats.
What's the most when you say I do this? People go, I didn't know that was your job, or that you had to do that, or that.
What are people surprised about?
Cleats was probably the big one before the the article where it was like in print somewhere. Honestly, I had no idea when I first started that was a part of it, but it's kind of cool. And honestly, like we have a lot of custom guys, especially Harper. He's got his own cleat. Literally. And you're cleaning that cleat. It's pretty cool. You know what I mean?
We had, like I mentioned, we had Stubbs on the show last week, and it was a really fun and funny interview. And he seems like a great guy in the clubhouse and in the dugout.
Absolutely.
Marsh as well. We've had him on a few times. What guy, besides those 2 guys, what guy cracks you up the most?
Yeah, sure. So I say this, people ask me similar questions all the time about this stuff. And for me, I say I usually relate more to the guys my age, right?
Okay.
That makes sense because we have a lot of similar values. So the next guy on that list, I would probably say is Bohm.
Oh, all right.
Just because we're all around the same age and we don't have kids yet. That makes a difference in people's lives. And
is there a rule against, so I know, like fraternizing after hours away from the stadium with players?
I think it's kind of like an unspoken rule. And honestly, that's fine. Like, I don't expect that. And honestly, we spend so much time together that I don't blame them for wanting to go spend time with their family or friends outside of the roster. And, we definitely have our moments like the Octobers the past couple of years where we get that little celebration together as well. So it's cool.
I'm really curious about the oven mitt, the base running oven mitt, and what that is like on the inside. I assume it's a pad to protect the hand from either the bag or an errant ball or something like that. What is it like on the? Because it just to me it seems like an oven mitt.
It's honestly oven mitts are softer. It's kind of like a hardish material,
like a canvas.
Like if you feel even from the outside, it's hard. It molds to your hand a little bit, and it's one of those materials where the main purpose is obviously so a cleat doesn't get stepped on. And guys typically wear it. If they wear one, it's on the side that ends up sliding into bases. So usually it's your left hand because you want to slide away from where the ball is. Like if you're stealing, you want to be on the outside of the bag.
Have they ever looked at using those Hulk hands as an option?
Yeah. That would probably do some damage, right? Could you imagine if they punch one of them and they went flying? That'd be pretty awesome.
That'd be very cool. You are not the oldest ball boy right now, right? I mean,
Bat boy.
A bat boy, yeah. See, I
get it all the time.
Yeah. Bat boy. Who holds that distinction in the?
In the major leagues, I'm not certain, but I know for a fact that like the Dodgers, I always talk about the guys there are full time and they travel and they're in their 30s and I mean they're great people.
Okay,
so I talk to them briefly when they come to town and
so it's more a set career for them.
I mean, you think about it. I've heard guys talk about it all the time, like on the radio and stuff like that. Former players and whatever, like. You don't think about players don't have weekends off.
Yeah.
They don't have set off days. Sometimes they lose an off day because of a rainout. A lot of this time from April, and in our case till November, there's probably a handful of off days, and that's it.
Right.
Which is crazy. If you're traveling and you're with them all the time, you practically don't have a life, honestly. But it's a pretty cool life to live at the same time.
Sure.
That's what I was going to ask. I was wondering if it could, and I know Steve asked, how long can you do the job, but I wonder if it would like kind of morph into a full-time position. We've talked about this on the show before, but I dated the Phillies bat boy when I was in high school, and the kids that did it then were like they were high school kids. And then once you graduated high school and you went off to college, like that was it. It seemed to be, seemed to turn over more. But this seems to be more of like a position. You have a job. It's a position.
Yeah. And I think especially I've been a little more available, I would say, the past couple years than maybe when I first started as far as planning things out, just because, started traveling with the World Series and, got to experience September into the playoffs last year. And I want to be available for these guys. I see the kind of difference that I can make for them. And the bottom line is we have so many talented players, so many veteran guys that have a routine. And the fact is I've become very like in sync with them to the point where, if you ever notice when Harper walks, I'm like timed up where it's almost like a football quarterback running back handoff with the sliding guard because we're like synced in on like Harper knows as soon as he turns, I'm going to be there with the sliding guard. And it's like a bang, bang thing. And, those type of moments are really cool. And I take pride in that. JT knows his gear is always going to be ready to go. And he has a lot of different sets of gear. I mean, we have 4 different home jerseys right now.
Jeez. Yeah.
So you're making yourself valuable.
Yes, exactly. And I would love it. I would love the opportunities to keep coming, I guess is the way to put it. But I don't want it to be misconstrued that I love every second of what I do. And if there's more to come with that, I'm all in. Yeah. If not, it's still a dream job that I would never take away.
You mentioned Harper, and he really has the potential to be the greatest Philly of all time at some point. I think the greatest Philly of all time is Mike Schmidt, and you got to spend a little bit of time with Schmidt in the dugout last season or the season before. What did you guys talk about?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, that still is one of probably the coolest moments of my entire time bat-boying, just because I would agree. I mean, my grandparents had season tickets on the third baseline. My mom and uncle went to games growing up with them, and I know all about it. I wish I could have seen him play. Obviously, that's not really possible, but just to even for him to take the time to talk to me, because he approached me, he's like, "Hey, you're that bat boy that's like always on TV, right?" And I'm like, "You're Mike Schmidt." You know what I mean? Like, yeah. But we just talked about it, and he says a lot of it on the Sundays broadcast when he's on is like, you know, JT fires those balls at you, and I'm like, it's part of the job, and I love it. You know what I mean? And all those sliding guards, like when he played, that wasn't a thing. Yeah. And I'm like, you know, I have a whole routine. Like in the dugout, I have it stacked in order of the batting lineup, and then like as they come, I keep shifting it down and having two always in my pocket, and it's become a thing. But you know, from the outside perspective, he's like, man, you should have like a wheelbarrow or something with you for all the stuff that you get.
A wheelbarrow, yeah.
And we were just joking and laughing, and it's just such a cool experience to say that Mike Schmidt took the time to talk to me. And
that is cool.
And I will literally never forget that, because he is, even if Harper passed him, he's still arguably the best third baseman of all time, and one of the best Phillies ever.
Nice. Well, listen, Adam is up for the Greater Philadelphia Visionaries of the Year candidate. He's in the candidate class for 2024, and you can donate on his behalf with the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. Just go to PrestonandSteve.com and get a link right there. And like Adam was saying, a big dumb button for you to click on and donate $2, $5, whatever. If you want to chuck in a couple $100, whatever, please do. And it's all for a great cause. And he would join the ranks of Nick McElwain
and Greg Murphy.
And the ultimate goals.
Yeah.
But
listen,
it's I'm sorry, Preston. It's a lot of work, and so he has to ask a lot of people for a lot of money, and we want to raise money for a great cause. So that's that's what the thrust of this is.
And it's a fascinating job you have. I mean, it's one that we're always like, what's that like? What all do you do? So thanks for sharing all this stuff with us. We appreciate it.
I can't thank you guys enough for having me. And I was telling you guys before, I mean, this was actually what I went to school for. So even being here is kind of a dream for me as far as being in the studio. So
you interned with DeBella, right?
I did back in the day, and I was telling you guys, like, this place was not like this when I was here. So just to see a finished product, and like I said, being headset on, mic, I mean, this is a dream for me as well. So thank you guys.
Cool. Well, good luck with everything, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
You got it. Adam Crognale from the Phils this morning. Bat Boy extraordinaire. We're going to take a break. We got a guest, Mr. Tom Green, joining us in a little bit. He's going to be at Helium Comedy Club, and then after that, director Zack Snyder. So a bunch to get to. We will return in just a moment. Stay put. Thank you very much, Kathy. Oh my God, Barry Manilow himself.
Wow. Oh yeah, that's
just
right.
Came into the studio.
Unbelievable. Yes. I am Barry Manilow. Yeah.
Well, from Road Trip.
Of course. Exactly. Yeah.
But please welcome Tom Green.
All right. Great to be here.
Good to see you, man.
Good to be back in Philly. This is exciting. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So glad you brought your dog.
I got my dog here. Yeah. Charlie's with me.
Yeah.
And,
I didn't see.
Right there.
Charlie got a little, not spooked, but perked up when we started cheering.
Okay, buddy.
Yeah, she's a rescue from the Bahamas. She's called a pot cake dog. She's one of these island dogs. Years of mixed breed. Nice. She's a good girl.
Yeah,
I live on a farm now.
That's what we heard. Yeah.
I left Los Angeles after 20 years, sold my house, and moved back to Canada and got a farm. Oh yeah.
I was watching a lot of your stuff, and I loved so much of this notion of, first off, you're in Canada. What, you're about an hour north of New York?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It looks fantastic. It is the antithesis of 20 years in L.A.?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's I never really felt at home in L.A. I feel instantly at home here because I love being out in nature, and I've got a lot of wilderness. And
how long was that idea brewing in your head to, I got to get back to that life, or get back to, to
probably about the last 5 years before I left, I was thinking I kind of wanted to leave. But then when the COVID happened, I
accelerated
the touring stopped and everything, and I had this time to move, and I did it.
Now, I don't know a lot about your current personal life. Are you married? Do you have kids or anything like that?
I have a mule.
Yes.
Nice. Okay.
Which are awesome, by the way.
Yeah. I have a mule and a donkey and some chickens.
Okay.
And, what's your donkey's name?
The donkey's name is Kia. And,
okay.
And Fanny is the mule.
Is Kia very affectionate?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
I asked because I was recently at a farm and I couldn't believe how the donkey wanted to be pet, wanted to be in the circle of the people that were there to visit. It was pretty cool.
The mule is great. If you go on my Instagram, you can see. I'll pull it up if you want to see. But there she is. She's like, where is she? Anyways,
they do get attached to people because there's tons
she's
of
like a giant animal, right? She's a giant, like a horse. You know?
Oh, wow.
So,
You're riding it.
Yeah, I ride around on her on the property. Her mother was a Percheron paint mix horse. So, and her. There's the donkey and her daddy. A mule is a cross between a donkey and a horse.
There's the classic distinction, and I always get it confused. But
she's great. I ride. I'm learning all about this now. I'm riding around the property on her and out there in the wilderness all day.
How many acres?
Quite a few, 150.
Dude, that is sensational.
So you can get lost out there if you're not careful.
You have a pond on or lake?
Yeah, and a lake and a pond, and it backs into a much bigger sort of empty Canadian wilderness. So there's wolves and bears
obviously.
And all sorts of stuff.
So do you have to worry about your animals?
Well, yeah, a little bit. The chickens, they got the chickens this year.
Yeah, did they?
I cried as well.
Oh.
I cried when my chickens were killed by the coyotes.
I mean, yeah.
And then my neighbors are real farmers, and I think they're kind of laughing at me because I'm crying about my dead chickens.
I would cry too.
I said, do farmers cry? He said, not over their dead chickens. So my neighbors think I'm a wuss.
No,
But,
I commend you for crying over your chickens.
Yeah.
I've heard a number of people who get chickens, and obviously if times are tough or just for whatever reason they end up with chickens.
That's why I got them.
Yeah, but they'll get them and then they realize, oh my God, they're actually kind of nice and
they're really nice,
and they have personalities.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it turns people off of eating chicken per se. They'll continue to eat the eggs, but
I just got them for eggs. They're not really meat eating. Well, the coyotes thought differently, but they're for eggs. And I get a lot of eggs. My cholesterol's through the roof. It's a lot of fun. But it's been an interesting experience for sure. And I'm getting pretty good at riding this mule too. It's interesting. It's a real psychological sort of. You really have to learn the psychology of an animal, and a mule specifically. They're extremely smart. You have to learn to communicate with them sort of non-verbally. They sense your energy. You learn a lot about yourself. You learn a lot about human interaction really through a mule because they don't, you're not speaking verbally to them, but they really feel your if you feel nervous about something, they sense that. If if you're nervous about riding into the woods, they sense that, then they don't want to go into the woods.
I think
you have
that's
to express
fascinating.
a certain amount of confidence.
Yeah.
And you have to sort of fake it till you make it kind of thing. Because at first I like I said, I didn't know anything about riding a mule, and then all of a sudden I'm realizing if I act like I don't know what I'm doing, then she's really going to sense that. So you have to really kind of be confident, look where you want to go, and express that kind of alpha sort of
did you have like
leader thing.
Did you have like an Avatar kind of moment where where you connect with the animal and the ponytails are connected and you said, okay, I think we're seeing each other now. We understand each other.
Yeah. There is. It's kind of you're progressively getting a little bit more connected.
Wow.
And we ride off into the wilderness together, and just sort of I go off for the day on her, and you're going through the woods and weaving through trees and going up and little hills and everything.
I think that's fantastic. Yeah.
How long have you been on the farm here?
Just coming up. It'll be coming up on 3 years this July.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
But going into it, did you just kind of dive right in, or did you do a little bit of research? How am I going to pull this off? How am I going to manage all this, or did you just kind of buy it and go?
Well, I didn't originally have the animals at the beginning, so the first year I found this place, and it was really just more about it's pretty close to where my parents live, and I like the property, and. But then it has these 200-year-old barns, so I thought it'd be kind of cool to put a mule in there. So then that started last June. I just got that. It's been about a year I've had the animals. So.
Do you hire somebody along with it? Like I would love to be able to purchase a farm, but I would
so much work.
But I don't know how to do it. So I'm like, can I purchase a farm and then hire somebody who was tending to the farm to begin with?
Just depends how often you're going to be there. Like if you're there every day, then you could pretty much do it yourself. It's not that much work looking after a mule or a horse.
Yeah.
They just eat grass, They just eat the grass in the field.
What province are we in right now?
Ontario. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you're traveling. So I assume periodically, not unless the parents come over to tend to the farm and take care of the animals.
Yeah. Well, I do have an assistant who helps me with it, and then my parents are actually pop by and stay at the place.
Hired hand.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly,
but that's
this
sort
is
of
a Jack Kerouac kind of.
Yeah. I'm gone a lot doing stand up. I mean, I'm trying to spend more time at home now though. But I have been on the road for a month. We drove here this time. See, so this every other time I've been here, I've flown from Los Angeles up here for the weekend. But now I'm driving, so I've been on the road for a month. We've just done about 40 shows. We've gone all through Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky, and now we're over here in Pennsylvania. We're going to be in Jim Thorpe and Newtown. Cool. And I'm here, weeknights this time. I'm not here on the weekend. I'm here. I was there, had a show last night at Helium, and one tonight and one tomorrow night. Yeah.
Jim Thorpe's a great little town. I think you're going to love it. Every now and then I think about going to a place that's away from a city, right? And I think one of the things that I would miss the most is accessibility to an airport, because obviously with an airport you can get to a lot of different places quickly via flight. What do you miss the most being out in the wilderness?
Yeah, well, the airport thing's interesting because I've just sort of changed the way I tour now. I like I said, first of all, being in the Northeast, there's way many so many more cities, right? So I don't really have to get on a plane anymore. And living in Los Angeles, I'd have to get on a plane every weekend. Now I just jump in my truck. I'll drive to Buffalo or Syracuse, New York, or Toronto or Montreal, Ottawa, and then this tour we did a whole month. So I've been in Detroit.
Dude, you're clocking many miles.
Flint, Michigan, Lansing, Hobart, Indiana, Kentucky, Cincinnati, Columbus, Cleveland, and Lexington, Louisville. And now over here. So that's been just the last month. So
you did about a year's worth of van life, right? Right out of LA. And that has become a thing. I was reading some of your stuff and looking at some of the video work, and you're chronicling so much of it. And you discovered something that I think is, it's great if you can find out about yourself that you can be by yourself and do it well.
Yeah.
And that was sort of a revelation for you, right?
Yeah.
Had you suspected you would be good at it, or was it completely from left field?
Well, so that was sort of what kicked off my, decision to go get this country property, right? I when COVID happened, I was looking for something to do because I stopped touring, and after 20 years of always being out on the road and doing something, I got a little stir crazy. So I got this camper van. There's these guys, they actually were on Shark Tank. Mm-hmm. And I found them online, but it's called Boho vans, and they're really cool guys too.
Super energy efficient.
They take Ram ProMaster vans and they convert them into there's a bed and solar panels on the roof, and fridge in it and everything. Yeah, there's the van there. You can see it. And so I decked it out as a sort of a video production studio, and I took my cameras and my editing stuff, and I drove off into the deserts of New Mexico and Arizona and Utah.
I'm jealous.
And I spent about the first year of COVID just going around making these short videos and with Charlie. And Charlie's actually named after Travels with Charlie. John Steinbeck.
Yeah.
So I was I got the dog and the van at the same time, and my dad said, "Oh, like Travels with Charlie." I said, "What's that?" He said, "The Steinbeck novel." I said, "I don't read." He said, "I know. That's why I'm telling you about this."
Did you read it?
Yeah, I did read it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's
See,
great.
if I were to do this, and it is on my list of things to do, that's exactly where I would start in this country, is down in Arizona, Utah, New Mexico.
Yeah.
I absolutely love that area. I was just we have a client called Southampton Hot Tubs, and they're right next to an outfit that does this exact same thing.
Yeah.
So you get that van, and like all in, I mean, it's about $100, right? If you get like the Ram Pro that you were talking about, it's like
$100,000.
Yeah, so 50 for the van, 51-ish for the van, and then like depending on
the
how bougie you want to get,
right.
it can be anywhere from 30 to 50 to outfit it.
But
and
you were stacking it with production equipment, though. You were conducting your interviews from out in the middle of nowhere.
I was doing a podcast out there, and
Love it.
But I built a recording studio in the van, and I'm recording some music out there and stuff. So, but I mean, the thing that was most amazing about it, if anyone ever gets a chance to do this, is the desert itself is so full of incredible mysterious and unbelievable things.
Yeah.
Petroglyphs, so much evidence of Native American ruins. You're going to cities little cities out in the desert of stone cities. There's a place called Chaco Canyon, which was one of my favorite spots in New Mexico. And if you look that up on my YouTube, you can see it's sort of like Machu Picchu, it's literally a full stone city in this canyon that was only discovered in the 50s. It had been buried. They've excavated it all, but
I watch Ancient Aliens all the time, and they're always in Machu Picchu and all of these. Any of the History Channel shows where they find. And you're right. There's tons of areas and towns like that, and
it's just sort of endless. You go down this rabbit hole and you start looking. It's not really talked about a lot in this country, really, all the stuff that's out there that you can go see, and so you just start driving and researching it, and then every day you're finding some incredible petroglyphs that nobody's seen before. These that literally nobody talks about. You can sort of hardly find anything about it online, and
it's
you're
amazing.
looking at these. And we're not talking about just a few of them. It's the whole desert's full of this incredible stuff. So it's really kind of exciting, actually, because you feel a little bit like, especially when you're out there by yourself. You said being out there by yourself. I was all by myself out there making these films and making music. And
does it put? I always love stuff like that. I love. First off, it's a Zen experience, and also it puts you, I think, in the context of the universe.
Yeah. It is kind of a very calming thing.
Yeah.
And I'd recommend people go explore the southwestern American U.S. if the desert if you can.
If you're tuning in, it's Tom Green who's going to be at Helium Comedy Club tonight and tomorrow, and there's 2 shows tonight, 8:15, and Thursday. No, I'm sorry, 1 show tonight, 1 show tomorrow night, 8:15 tonight, 8 tomorrow. I wanted to ask you with this more removed lifestyle that you're living, what is, because I would think that informing, inspiring you for comedy for your show, less interaction with people. What's informing your comedy now?
Well, I have a lot of interaction with people because I do stand up, and I have great neighbors out there, and it's just local people, and it's different kind of people. I'm not in LA anymore, and it's actually a lot more real out where I am now.
Yeah, I would imagine.
I'm not in the middle of a show business city. It's people are real farmers and fishermen and hunters, and when I go to the grocery store or somewhere like that, I'm not running into celebrities and people in the business of show. So it's kind of actually a lot more of a real experience, and I'm also home around family, and so it's actually really, really nice.
I think that's kind of funny because if you think about your earlier career, and obviously, I mean, like you started so much, you set in motion so many things. Like you were Jackass before Jackass, and all of that stuff, and
Impractical Jokers, and all of it.
And your parents, who you visited a lot of torture on,
those poor people.
Here you are.
They still talk to me.
They still talk
They were happy that I came back to Canada, and they actually were happy that I live near them now.
And there's a ton of footage of you, of your mom and everybody loving your lifestyle, and it's so they clearly don't carry a grudge.
No, they're having a lot of fun with the farm, and I mean that's a big part of I do talk about adapting to this new lifestyle in my stand up and riding it around on a mule that refuses to turn left and things like this. So it's definitely actually a real whole new fodder for comedy. And I have a new television show that we're shooting now that it's funny, I'm busier than I've been in years, actually, since moving back to Canada. I've restarted my production company in Canada. I'm directing a new TV show called Tom Green Country, which is coming out this year on Amazon Prime.
Very nice.
And also a documentary that I'm putting together for Amazon Prime, which is about the sort of history of my career, going back to the Tom Green Show and stand-up comedy and everything. And
it's amazing.
And then there's a stand-up special as well. And we're shooting for the stand-up special tonight at Helium. And I'm filming all of my shows, and we're going to create a sort of a 1-hour stand-up special of this set. So
it's interesting. I was thinking about you the other day. There's a documentary out about Steve Martin. It's a 2-parter. It covers his early career and in his more current career.
Yeah.
And you remind me of him in his earlier career, at the beginning of your career, because he set out to do things that people weren't doing. He was like, stand-up has this kind of routine. It's punchline setup or setup, punchline, setup, punchline. He went with punchline set. No, anyway. But he decided, I'm going to do things that make people maybe feel a little uncomfortable. And the humor will be in that they feel uncomfortable about this. Once they get it and can laugh about it. And you came along at a time that was sorely needed as well. Was it just your own? Because he had made up his mind, I'm going to do it this way. But were you just doing you, or did you also have that kind of premeditated, I'm going to make people feel, I'm going to put people in uncomfortable situations and find the humor in it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I kind of, I was a huge fan of David Letterman, so there was a lot of influence there. Me watching him as a kid go out and
contort the talk show,
do funny things on the street, and kind of disrupt and dismantle the Johnny Carson show and make it his own. And so that was a big influence. But I was also a skateboarder, and I watched a lot of skateboarding videos, and that was a bit more punk rock and a little bit more subversive.
You were doing rap too, weren't you?
Yeah.
So you had all this stuff that came well before.
Yeah.
So when did the notion of being this sort of comedian provocateur?
Well, I started doing stand-up when I was 16. I think it kind of came from just being sort of an attention-seeking goofball, class clown. Moved around a lot. My dad was Canadian military, so we were always moving around to different cities, and I was a new kid in class, and I kind of ended up finding I could make friends if I would kind of, trip over a garbage can on my first day and make a big scene, and so so that became kind of my personality. But I guess I also just found it really interesting time when video cameras became something that were accessible to people.
Yeah, really portable.
Yeah, and and that's sort of where the kind of man on the street sort of confusing the public came. You could take your comedy out of a studio and just be running down the street and doing.
I reference your stuff all the time.
I'm thinking there's one that I always think about. You're talking to an older gentleman. You tell him you have a depth perception problem, and you just keep sticking the microphone on his nose.
Yeah,
and the guy is just answering the questions and not concerned at all that this person is shoving this on my face.
Yeah, there was a period of time where it was before social media, before cell phones, before everybody had a video camera, before everybody had a social media page, where if you walked up to somebody with a camera and a handheld microphone, they kind of almost froze a little bit. They sort of got very nervous. They felt like they were being interviewed by the news. I'm on television, and people would become almost a little bit,
deer in headlights?
Deer in headlights, exactly. And so sometimes I would kind of play with that and, just start rubbing the microphone on their face. And they were so concentrating on what they wanted to say, they didn't know, should I say stop doing that? When we got on MTV, we kind of took it a step further. I would spread some dog poo on the microphone.
I remember clearly.
And then I wouldn't actually rub it in their face, but I would put it as close to their nose as possible. And, you'd have this sort of piece of actual dog poo on a microphone right under their nose, and then I'd ask them about, the Wimbledon, and Pete Sampras. They'd be talking about Pete Sampras, but their nose would be twitching, and so that was always a lot of fun.
Tom, it really seems to me like you as a person.
No poo on the microphone here. That would
No.
I didn't even notice that. I was so nervous.
We keep it clean. You've evolved quite a bit over the years and changed your perspective. And has your comedy changed much? I mean, like, if you come to Helium, are people going to see the Tom Green that they saw in Road Trip, or is it a very different act?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's still very much an outrageous and wild and crazy show. I'm still a wild and crazy guy, to quote Steve Martin, of course. Right. But it's of course it's not a prop-driven show. It's I do bring a guitar with me. I play a little music at the end, some songs I've been doing, and some. But I'd say it's a cross between. I mean, it's 90% new material, but sometimes I dip into some of the older stuff and tell some stories about the older show.
It's an interesting mix, because you do one of my favorite bits, which is about, and I think it might be from the last special you did about 4 years ago, maybe, perhaps, where you're talking about, how we evolve, for Neanderthal and Cro-Magnon, we're hunched over and we're standing erect and standing tall. You actually got up on a stool. And you're talking about now we're up, and then we get the phones, and we start to hunch over again. And it was brilliant. It was brilliant.
Great observation.
I do find I like to talk about what's going on in our world today with social media and our addiction to it, because it seems to be one of the things that everybody's going through, and there is just a lot of comedy to be had about just all the changes that have happened in our society just in the last 20 years. I don't really get into politics too much. I touch on it a little bit, but I try to kind of keep it somewhat non-political, because I want everybody to have a good time.
We do that too.
We're very divided in our society right now. I do talk about some serious subjects like that and then try to make fun of it, but yeah, these phones, they're driving us all nuts, and I find that funny.
It is.
One of the serious subjects you did tackle on your MTV show, which was very admirable, was your testicular cancer. Probably the first time anybody ever really took it that personal. And for something that was a comedy show, you took a left turn there. And
they took my right testicle.
They took your right testicle on the left turn. But you probably helped save a lot of lives to get people out and get checked.
Yeah, it was the intention to kind of raise some awareness about testicular cancer, because it's the kind of thing that young guys get it. They watch MTV. They were watching my show. When I got cancer, I had no idea that was even a possibility. So when I felt some sort of pain down there, I was thinking, okay, well, what is this? Unfortunately, I'm a very paranoid person, so I went to the doctor right away. But a lot of young guys get embarrassed and they don't go to the doctor right away, and then it spreads into a sort of a place where it's a lot more of a problem. So it was interesting though, because I would say I've probably had, definitely hundreds and hundreds of people over the last 20 years have contacted me online, written me letters, or come to my show and said they saw that show, and then they went to the doctor and they got diagnosed with cancer. And I've had, it's an interesting, unexpected, and it's kind of a beautiful thing that happens. Probably at least once a month, somebody comes to my show with their wife, almost in tears, sometimes in tears, saying thank you. That show saved my life. And it's really kind of been like a very heavy but nice thing to see that people have really kind of been directly impacted by that special. I think MTV should air it again. I've been really asked them to, but I think they should air it again, because it really is a good thing that it does for people.
Yeah, and I was surprised to see you. There was at one point you were really scared. I remember seeing that. I was like, wow, okay, this is the funny Tom Green showing that he's
that whole special's online. You can watch it. It's called The Cancer Special.
I remember clearly
we
watching
came up with,
Yeah.
But it was an interesting time for sure.
Well, listen, and I think it's great that you saved some lives and stuff like that. But I think at that time you were a little selfish, because I was invited out to the road trip press junket.
Okay.
And you didn't go because you had cancer. I really wanted to meet Tom Green. And I didn't get to meet Tom Green in 2000. I had to wait.
Oh, my gosh. Sorry about that.
No, that's all right. I had such a great time at that road trip, and it was a real big bummer, obviously. You were going through some stuff, but I was so bummed that but now I get to meet you here in Philadelphia.
Yeah, no, that's great. So I forgot. The timing was pretty crazy when I got cancer. That's why the Tom Green show stopped. People don't really know that. It was one of the number one shows on MTV at the time. This was before, like you said, Jackass came along. There wasn't a lot of shows at the time. There was Road Rules, The Real World, Celebrity Deathmatch, and the Tom Green show, and a couple of other shows. And, it was a hit show, and I ended up having to take a year off to go take care of that, and then I ended up doing a bunch of movies, and
it's crazy how you
never really went back to the actual original Tom Green show. So,
and that was it. How you frame it in your mind. I know you were on Rogan and you talked about a third-degree burns you'd gotten on your feet.
Man, you do your research.
But you also raised the point where you talked about the testicular cancer, and you also talked about this, and you talked about the way you go through that. So it was a serious burns. There was a bonfire out on the beach in Costa Rica, I think it was.
Yeah.
And but
that was just 2 years ago. Yeah.
How are you doing, by the way? Is everything good?
I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, my foot looks like a pastrami sandwich with toes, but other than that, everything's fine. It's like Freddy Krueger's face, but no, it's okay. I'm pretty much 99% better. Although I do have a bit of scarring and stuff. It was kind of a bizarre situation. I was walking on the beach in Costa Rica, and there had been a big bonfire there, and they'd buried it with sand, and there was still a little bit of a fire left, and I walked up to it to throw a piece of driftwood on it, and my sandaled foot went into the sand, and I got third-degree burns all over my feet and the coals, and was rushed to the hospital. I spent 10 days in a Costa Rican hospital. I had 3 surgeries. I had skin grafts put on my foot, 60 staples in my foot. And then I was airlifted by a medevac air ambulance back to Sunnybrook Burn Center in Toronto. So it was, and then basically spent the next year going to a doctor, the next 6 months at least, going in every twice a week to get my bandages changed and just make sure my foot didn't fall off. So we were kind of monitoring it for infection.
Was that a tangible risk that you could lose the foot?
No, because from infection, So I was probably spent about 6 months thinking maybe I could lose my foot, and it was very pretty traumatic, terrifying experience. But yeah, like I said on Joe's show, on Rogan, because kind of. It is kind of similar to the cancer experience. I find it interesting when you get hospitalized for something serious like that. You sort of stop and you immediately go from not a care in the world, or you're worrying about work, or worrying about thinking about random things that are stressing you out, and all of a sudden all that stuff is erased, and you're just focused on survival, or making sure I don't get my foot amputated, and all those things that you were stressed about are suddenly just in the background. And it's a weird thing, but it's become somewhat helpful for me going through those experiences, because every time, this was a reminder, when I came out of this, again, it reminded me what it was like when I had cancer, and you come out of it and you really sort of start to take stock of what's important in life and try not to stress about the little things.
It's a great lesson. Sometimes you have to learn it the hard way, as you did. But the fact is, listen, I mean, you're absolutely one of the funniest out there. And you drove a long distance to be here, so people should take advantage of their opportunity to see you.
Yeah. Tonight, Helium Comedy Club, 8:15. There's a show tomorrow night at 8 o'clock as well. And you can go to heliumcomedy.com to get those tickets. Tom, it is great to see you. We have another guest we have to get to. So
thanks, guys. Yeah.
Have a great show
I think
tonight.
we've covered everything. So
we hit a lot. Yeah.
This is great. No, it was like, this is your life. This is great. No, I appreciate it. Thanks so much, guys.
We're really happy for your newfound happiness in this in Canada.
That's awesome.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Charlie.
Tom Green.
Yeah.
Charlie. Thank you for being here. All right, our next guest is joining us via Zoom, and now streaming on Netflix is the movie we've been waiting for, Rebel Moon Part 2.
Yes.
And it's called The Scar Giver. And is he ready to go?
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, our friend, director Zack Snyder.
Hey.
Morning, Zack.
Hey, guys.
Hey. Nice to have you on again, man. Thanks for getting up early in the morning.
I really want to come into the studio.
You need to. Tom Green was just here.
I just was listening to that and was like, I forgot that I had the show to do with you guys, because I just thought I was listening to Tom talk about his experience. It actually freaked me out for a second when you're like, we have Zack Snyder. I was like, oh shit. He's great. He's really, really, really good.
Were you into that? To Tom, it was kind of a revolutionary, approach to comedy, and of that time. We of course we know you for your movies and so on and so forth, and this sort of operatic vision that you've had cinematically. But is there a Tom Green side to Zack Snyder?
Well, I mean, like, I do love comedy. I do like stand up, and I watch a lot of specials on Netflix and stuff. So yeah, I'm a fan. And Tom's just like a bit. It's funny how people, as he was saying, they can innovate, or they change. They take what seems like not a radical approach, but like they come at something from another angle, and suddenly it's fresh and incredible. So Yeah, I really appreciate that. So it's cool.
I wanted to ask you, so Rebel Moon Part 1 and Part 2, and obviously we know the whole dynamic of everything that's going on. We spoke to you prior to the release of 1, and it's a weird dynamic I find myself in here, Zack, because we know there is the original intent was for this an R-rated, a much more graphic version. And it's almost like you've gotten to eat a few candies in the Whitman sampler and you want to eat the whole box. Are you getting people saying that a lot?
That exact metaphor, no. But yeah.
Well, okay, analogous to it. We'll go with that.
I liked it. It's yes. Well, here's the thing. Look, I mean, I tried to make this movie. The movie I wrote is very much was very very heavy metal in the sense of the graphic the adult illustrated fantasy magazine. That's what I wrote, and I wrote it because I was really inspired by the kind of what I would say is like more sort of graphic sci-fi, like crazy psychedelic sci-fi. That's what I wanted.
Okay.
That's what I don't see, right? In like, in like, that's what I hope for in movies, is like, show me something a little crazy. Now, okay, so you'd say, okay, well, that's cool that you say that, because when I watch Rebel Moon, I get it. I wouldn't say, I mean, it's family friendly in the sense that anyone can watch it. It's just a sort of down the center action adventure, sci-fi experience. So where is that weirdo heavy metal thing? And we did make that movie, and that's coming. But it's the genre itself, or the production to make a movie of this scale takes a lot of resources and a lot of time, and Netflix was an amazing partner in that they said, we'll make your weirdo movie, but can we also make a movie that is for a larger audience? Right. And I said, absolutely. So it's this weird, I don't know if this has ever been sort of experimented with in cinema, this kind of where you literally make two movies at the same time. One, that's like, I would say very accessible, very, easy to watch, really fun, slightly earnest, I would say. And then on the other hand, over here, we've made this like sort of weirdo version of it. So
no, I hear you. Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of fun.
No, because I'd say this, because we've said this before, the director's cut of Batman v Superman, or your Zack Snyder's Justice League, obviously the full realizations of what you wanted are tremendous, I think are astonishingly, I wouldn't say improved, but just better, because the whole story is told. I mean, certainly Zack Snyder's Justice League, using the full title, is I consider it a masterpiece. Yes. Preston does as well.
Yep.
And Batman v Superman in its full version. So are you getting people who've seen those and are saying, you know what, I'm going to wait. I want to see the full.
I don't know. You know what I say? I mean, my thing is like, it's an interesting thing to talk about, like if you're going to wait or not. Like, the thing about Netflix that's amazing, and like I talked about it on Rogan, and I got a little heat from it on Rogan, but it's true. It was funny. I was in an interview, and when I talked about the sort of Barbie versus Rebel Moon viewing numbers, and everyone went nuts and was like, Snyder's insane. He thinks his movie's better than Barbie. I'm like, I didn't say that, first of all. Secondly, I was just going by like the numbers of views. Like, that's what I'm talking about. And that's what I'm talking about with Netflix. The pipeline is so robust. It's so insane.
Yeah.
What they're capable, when they push the button and the movie goes out to the world, it's incredible. Like, we were talking about the fact that like, movie one, right, of Scargiver, or not Scargiver, Child of Fire, which is movie one, which is the movie that came out in December. It's a two-parter. Hey, and if you're thinking about watching it, it's really cool to watch it in order, because
right.
It really makes sense.
Right.
To watch one and then two. But when Scargiver came out, this weekend on Netflix. Movie 1 got dragged back up into the top 10 of Netflix movies, right? And the kind of insanity is that, like, basically as many people watched movie 1 as all the movies in the domestic box office combined. Right?
It's insane.
I'm one of them. Yeah.
And that's movie 1. So like that's the kind of scale. So I guess my point is that, like, it's a boutique-y take, in my opinion, which and it's cool to go, like, I'm waiting for, like, for the R-rated.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's cool. It's cool, but it's like, I think that when you look at the scale of the release, and that's the thing. I really want people to enjoy the two movies together now that they're out on Netflix, because I really think that's the great way to watch them.
Okay. Yeah.
Is to watch them together. And if you're like a crazy holdout, like, what can I say about that? Like, you're just it's a cool take, but it's it's hard to resist when it's just on your phone.
Right.
So when you're talking about these massive movies, whether it be Justice League or Watchmen or Army of the Dead or Army of Thieves, like, you're talking about these giant ensemble casts, and I don't know how hands-on you are when it comes to casting, but I feel like your casting is just so pitch perfect. And I want to talk about the main nemesis in Rebel Moons Parts 1 and 2. We're talking about Atticus Noble, and that's played by Ed Skrein. It's just so perfectly cast. Do you think that guy, who we met in Deadpool, he played Ajax in Deadpool, do you think he is capable of playing a good guy?
He does, actually.
He absolutely is. Ed is the sweetest guy.
Yeah.
He's so nice, and he's so dedicated, and really just kind of a deep thinker, and really kind. And
but a menacing look. He just has a menacing look.
He does,
about
but
him.
Zach, he's in the movie Midway. He plays a hero. He plays but that's a good question. How would someone see that if all they'd seen is the stuff before?
Yeah, really, it's cool because, like, first of all, I'm very hands-on with casting. It's a really important part of the movie for me. Like, I really agonize over that, and a lot of times I have a person I want to go for, early on. Like Sophia, I really wanted Sophia for the movie. Like,
she's great.
Before we even, and I just felt like she has this quality that really fascinates me, and I think she's just and a gifted athlete. Was able to do all the physical stuff that I wanted her to do, which is really, the way I shoot action. I like the actor to be able to do it, just because I want them. It's hard. Cinematic, when you're filming something, it's hard if you have this idea for a shot and the actor can't do it, and you have to modify the shot to hide the stuntman or whatever. That can be frustrating, and so I like to try and make that the same thing. So in casting, a lot of times I have to really think about, whether or not the actor can do what's going to be required of them in the film. And sometimes I found it awesome when an actor kind of is a little bit hesitant or, what have you, about, like, whether or not they're going to be able to do it. And then through the immersion into the stunt teams and getting in the gym, like, we get them to just, and then by the end they're just animals and they're just doing everything.
Yeah, we talked about last time, obviously in preparation and having seen both films, and I would posit the notion that you'll never be in better shape than if you do a Zack Snyder film, because they're superhuman. And you made the point that gym experience, if they're working out together, that sort of helped foster the camaraderie that we see of this sort of, magnificent seven-ish, rising together to take on this challenge. So is that something, do you ever see a movie in your future? Because, you obviously have your catalog. Do you see one where you might encourage someone to get plump.
Oh, nice. I like that. I do like that. You know what? I don't have it. I need to do that. I need to look for that film, for that property.
It's like some poor son of a bitch shows up and he thinks he's going to get in the best shape of his life.
Ripped.
Yeah.
I'd be like, bro, what are you doing? No. You just quit.
By the way,
I'm going to open like a retreat in like New Mexico, Zack Snyder's, where you go on vacation for like 6 weeks and just like learn to fight and get in shape. And it's cool. It's like it's like a resort.
Yes,
that'd be
awesome. It'd be amazing.
By the way, speaking of people in great shape, it's Jaimin Hansu's 60th birthday today.
It's unbelievable.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I've famously now told this story about Jaimin. I don't know if I'll post. I haven't posted the photo yet. I took that picture of him in '89 when he and I were when he came up to Art Center College of Design, where I went to school. He came up in '89. I was whatever. I don't, in my very early 20s, and he was just, over from France at the time. And he, barely spoke any English and came up came up with this, brought up by this fashion photographer named Paul Jasmine to pose for the students, you know what I mean? Like as a model.
Right.
And I took an amazing photo of him that I still have. And of course, it's hard to take a bad picture of him. I take zero credit for any of the beautiful. Yeah, the shot itself is like whatever. I guess anyone like a child, I could drop the camera and it like took a picture and it would have still been
still take the credit though. Yeah, take the credit regardless.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
because by the way, he looks exactly the same.
I believe it.
Age defying. Yeah. I wanted to
literally.
I wanted to bring up that the anniversary of Dawn of the Dead turning 20 this year, which is just a fantastic film. Many would have considered it at that time sacrilege to take on a George Romero classic.
Many did. Trust me, many did. I got a lot of.
Got a
lot of hate at first. But then I have over the years that movie's really settled into its place. Taken its place. Which I appreciate. A lot of people always come up to me and go like, Dawn of the Dead, that's the one, so that's really, I really find that cool.
And James Gunn wrote the script on that, correct?
James Gunn wrote the script. Yep, absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah. So no, it's one of those things. Any plans, we just have a few more minutes, but any plans for a remastered version, a director's?
It really does. It probably does need to be remastered. I should talk to Universal about that because it'd be really good to update the transfer, to get a higher quality version of the movie out there somewhere. That'd be good to do.
So both Rebel Moon Part 2, Rebel Moon Part 1 and Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scar Giver, I've watched both. And the word is, are there plans for 4 additional films? Is that what's in the works, or is that just a...
that's the way... look, if you just look at it, that's what... I feel like that's where we would go, It's,
right.
It's kind of open-ended right now. But we've talked a lot about. I have a big dry erase board down in the office that sort of tracks the entire journey. So that would be something fun to do. But listen. We're a little exhausted now.
I would imagine.
I think my plan is to do kind of a small movie right away. I'm really kind of excited to kind of not do something that has visual effects in every shot, which is like nothing against visual effects. I love it, but the turnaround is a little long, it takes a while for all the shots to cook. So, it'd be nice to just do something with a little bit more in-camera effects. Although we did build gigantic and ridiculous sets for this movie.
Which I love.
Yeah. And a lot of that is in the camera, shockingly. So it's fun to see that.
Maybe a movie about the inner workings of a Philadelphia morning radio show.
Oh my God, I have a great idea for it.
Personal.
If I don't get a Zack Snyder slow-mo sequence, I'll be pissed.
You will.
All right.
You'll have to decide whether it's the gain weight or lose weight movie.
I'm gonna be in the Oreo aisle.
Oh, my God.
That's amazing.
Well,
That's
listen,
amazing.
Zach, unfortunately, we got to move along. We have this promotion we have to stay on time with, but I just want to remind people.
No sweat.
Rebel Moon Part 2, Scargiver, that is streaming now on Netflix for your consumption, so go get it, and then we'll obviously, I know you got 1,000 things going on, but we're happy to promote anything you have happening because we're just huge, huge fans. I think you already know that. But
I appreciate it. Me too. And I'm coming in. You guys, I'm going to be knocking on the door of your studio next time. You're going to be like, oh, my God, there's a guy out there. call security.
Did he bring food? We'll hold you to it. Yeah. We'll have a gym here for you.
We love you, Zach. Thanks for coming on, man.
All right, that's the reason to come. Yeah. All right, cheers, guys. Appreciate it.
Take care. Zack Snyder, guys. The one and only. Man, oh, man, oh, man. It's funny. He's got such a... His style is just his style. It's so recognizable. I love it.
And I'm down with it. I love the way the films look.
Yeah.
And and I love that give me that slow motion stuff till all it doesn't matter. I dig it. Yeah. I know some people freak out and like, why it's so much slow? That visual 300, for example. The movie 300. Dear God, we had never seen anything like that.
No,
never.
Steve and I are huge fans of The Watchmen.
The Watchmen.
And the beginning sequence of that entire movie is all this real slow-mo panning, and it's brilliant. It's
fantastic.
Scargiver, Rebel Moon Part 2 is now on Netflix. We do need to take a break now because we have to stay on time. We have a chance to win $1,000 MMR's Good Morning It Money promotion is coming up when we return. Bizarre File 2. Stay put. We'll be right back. Ozzy on 93.3 WMMR. One of those days, it is 10:01. I think we know what that means.
93.3 WMMR Philadelphia. It's time for a Good Money It keyword.
Indeed, and the word is wholesome. 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 And you have until 15 minutes after the hour to enter that. 3 ways for you to do it. Enter at WMMR.com or on the MMR app, or you can text the word wholesome to the special contest short code number, which is 45911. One random entry wins $1,000 in our company-wide contest, so make sure you do it. Each winner gets a call from Beasley. Make sure you answer your phone. Contest rules available at WMMR.com, and it is sponsored by McLaughlin Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. So the word again is wholesome. We want you to win that money. You need to enter it now. We're going to take our final look at traffic while you're doing that. Kathy, what's going on right now?
95 northbound jams the Betsy Ross Bridge to Cotman. The left lane is closed with construction, and then on the southbound side, left lane closed with construction. At Cotman, you're jammed back to Academy. 309, both directions at Trillington Road, an accident there. 295 southbound, the off-ramp at 73, traffic lights still not working. New Jersey Turnpike westbound at the Delaware River Toll Bridge. We've got left lane construction there. Ben Franklin Bridge westbound, right lane construction. You're slow from the toll plaza to the downside. This traffic report brought to you by BQ Basements and Concrete. Now groundwork.
Xfinity mobile guest line real quick. I'm going to pull this person up. I'm not even going to say your name. I'm not even going to ask where you're from or why you're calling. Just tell people what you need to tell them right now. Go ahead.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Hey, me? My name is Cheryl Fitzpatrick, and I'm from Williamstown, New Jersey, and I just won $1,000.
Even though I told her I wasn't going to ask her name or where she's from,
she did it.
She offered it up anyway.
That's a pro.
That's somebody who's excited about winning some money. So, yeah.
Excited.
$1,000. You are excited. Wow, Cheryl, congratulations to you. That's huge news. Where, well, we already know where you're from. What do you do? What is a day-to-day thing that Cheryl does for a living?
Not much. I'm kind of retired right now.
That's the best.
There you go.
How about that? This is just money to do whatever you want to with it. That's fantastic. Have you been entering several times, Cheryl, or was this just like a one-shot lucky thing?
Oh, no. Several times, and even the last time you were doing it. Oh, yeah. And I thought, I'll never win. I'll never win.
Look
You
at
won.
you. It pays off.
You're not kidding.
Persistency pays off quite literally. All right, Cheryl, $1,000. Congratulations to you. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. MMR rock.
Yeah, baby. And by the way, Cheryl is our winner from the 8 o'clock hour. So the word I just gave, enter it now. You might be like Cheryl. The word is wholesome. Make sure you enter that now. That's our 10 o'clock MMR keyword. So let's get you that money too, just like Cheryl.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you by Family and Company Jewelers. You can save hundreds on the ring of her dreams at a Viraggio Bridal Show. And that's April 25th through the 27th. If you hear this every now and then, it's always worth bringing up in the Bizarre File. A Belgian man has been acquitted of drunk driving because he has what is called auto brewery syndrome.
Yes.
ABS, an extremely rare condition whereby the body produces alcohol.
Whoa, it's crazy.
It's happened before. Anze Gizguer, I guess is how you say his name, said that in another unfortunate coincidence, her client, this is her, worked at a brewery, but 3 doctors who independently examined him had confirmed that he had ABS. Belgian media said in the verdict, the judge emphasized that the defendant, who was not named in line with local judicial custom, did not experience symptoms of intoxication.
It's just, oddly, she married a man whose body produces nachos.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Lisa Florin, a clinical biologist, said people with ABS produce the same type of alcohol as found in alcoholic drinks, but that they generally felt less of its effect.
It's crazy.
People, are, by the way, are not born with ABS, but can develop it when they already have another intestine-related condition, and patients can present with symptoms consistent with alcohol intoxication, such as slurred speech, stumbling, loss of motor function, dizziness, and belching.
I might ask that when they pee, is there a head on it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is some people don't feel the effects as strongly as you would as drinking alcohol, yet they still have it in their system. Interesting. This is pretty wild. I saw the video of this in London, Ontario. A train with 5 rail cars went up in flames as it was traveling on Sunday night. And you see this train.
It's pretty awesome.
5 of the cars, fully engulfed in flames, and they're just riding by on the tracks.
Is that World War Z?
Okay. World War Z and War of the Worlds.
Okay.
War of the Worlds, they're at a train crossing, and a freight train passes by on fire. Yeah.
Chief Colin Shewall said the rail cars were carrying used wooden railway ties, which are used in laying railway tracks, of course.
So
and no injuries were reported. The train crew disconnected the cars that were on fire with some possible dangerous goods that were on board. Other cars that were empty, but still a threat. The residents in the area were urged to stay inside with windows shut because of the heavy smoke.
It's pretty amazing, though, that it happened at night.
Yeah, the London Fire Department said multiple 911 calls came in from residents. The train continued traveling for a while before coming to a stop at Waterloo Station. Damage is pegged at $25,000 for any maintenance required due to heat stress on the rail cars and $10,000 to the holding building. The railway company was investigating the cause of the fire, but they said at this point it's deemed suspicious until proven otherwise.
So the overall cost is like under $50,000. I would think it would be more.
For the rail cars, yeah. So I don't know what the story is on that. This is pretty great, and I saw a picture of this. A driver in a rural area of Canada, stopped by Royal Canadian Mounted Police, has learned that vice grips are not a substitute for a steering wheel. And it's literally, there is no steering wheel. There's just a tiny little nub in the middle of the column, and somebody had attached vice grips, and they were using that to steer.
That sounds like your car, Kathy.
Officers pulled the vehicle over for a traffic stop. The officer noticed the vehicle had no steering wheel, and the driver was using vice grips to guide it.
I would have used like a big wrench.
The driver did not have a driver's license either, and was ticketed and given a notice to have the vehicle inspected for safety.
There's a picture of it up on the screen here. This is hilarious.
Vice grips were the way we turned a channel on a black and white television in our kitchen for about 5 years because the knob fell off and you could stick the vice grips in and change the channel that way.
The Saskatchewan police remind drivers that they must make sure the vehicles are well maintained and safe to operate.
Well, that's safe.
In Tampa, Florida, if you always wanted a robot pet or just want to own a flamethrower, Now you can have your robot dog and set things on fire too, thanks to what's called the Throw Flame. The Ohio-based company is selling the name of the company is Throw Flame. The name of the object is called the Therminator, a robotic dog with a back-mounted flamethrower on it, which the company says can send streams of fire up to 30 feet with the push of a button.
It's nightmarish.
It's very nightmarish. Video shared on Throw Flame's Facebook page shows the Therminator walking through a wooded area, spewing flames, and even jumping around for a while. Those worried about the legality of owning a flame-throwing robot dog can rest assured that flamethrowers are legal in 49 states in the U.S.
Who's the one state?
Maryland.
Okay.
They banned the device outright, though California does require you to have a permit to use them. If you want your own fire-throwing dog, the robotic pet is available on Throw Flame's website for $9,420.
It's actually not bad.
And then one last story, and then we will wrap it up. I found this interesting. The jawbone of a U.S. Marine Corps member killed during an airplane accident more than 70 years ago has finally been identified after it spent years as part of an Arizona boys' rock collection.
What?
College students and one high school intern working with the Ramapo College Investigative Genetic Genealogy Center in New Jersey helped make the discovery. Most of Captain Everett Leland's Yeager's remains were recovered in California after the 1951 accident, and they were buried in Palmyra, Missouri. It's thought, listen to this, that a scavenger, possibly a bird, picked up the man's jawbone and deposited it in northern Arizona, where it's believed to have been picked up by the child who officials did not identify.
So are we to believe that it doesn't much resemble a jawbone, that it's a piece, or is it a fully intact jawbone?
No, it's not a fully intact jawbone. The boy's mother discovered the rock, which had several teeth in her son's belongings.
Jeez.
And contacted the sheriff's office around 2002. The sheriff's department and medical examiner referred the case to Genealogy Center in 2023 after performing unsuccessful DNA tests. And they did all this testing on it, and they eventually found a relative of the captain. They had contacted the daughter of the captain for a DNA sample to compare the jawbone, and it confirmed a parent-child relationship between the two, resolving the
I hope
case.
they arrest that kid for murder.
No, it was a bird that carried it to Arizona. Nobody murdered him. Plans are currently being made to reunite the remains with the man's family. Ethan Schwartz, the high school student, is thought to be the youngest person ever to contribute to an investigative genetic genealogy case resolution. And there is what I have in the bizarre file for you. All right, you got just 3 minutes left to enter the word wholesome for your chance to win $1,000 with the Good Money It contest that we're doing. And we have a different contest we've been telling you. It's a secret text word day today. So, Kathy, we need a winning caller. What numbers are going to be?
7.
All right, caller 7 at 215-263-WMMR. You need to know the secret text word in order to win. So if you've got it, call now. We'll see if you get it. We'll be back in a moment. And we'll get lesson, question, trash, and music news. Stay put. And Hailstorm on 93.3 WMMR, that band right there, amongst the roster of artists who will be playing at MMRBQ 2024, September 21st, Freedom Mortgage Pavilion. Join them on the stage, some other female rockers, The Warning, as well as Nothing More, The Offspring, Silvertide back in town, POD, Sleep Theory, Local Shots, Jersey Calling, and those tickets are up for the grabs, so make sure you get yours and don't miss out on what will be, I'm sure, a wonderful night, the whole thing, our side stage, everything.
Yes.
WMMR.com. Go to the website, get the information. Lots of good stuff over there for you to peruse, not just the MMRBQ information, but we got loads for you at WMMR.com. Dare I say, check it every few hours or so.
Yeah, I would do that. In fact, I do that. Do.
You said do.
Do.
All right, so we were looking for a winner for Secret Text Word. Caller number 7 is whom we need, and that is Julia. Hi there, Julia.
Good morning, Ed.
Good morning to see you, Julia. What is our Secret Text Word?
It's a funny one today. Toots.
Toots. Yeah. Correct. Hang on a second, Julia. we got you. We are going to set you up with a $100 Amex gift card from OWN's all-new series, The Never Ever Mets, featuring 7 people who've never met face-to-face, and now they're all living under one roof, and you can catch an all-new episode Friday at 8 on OWN. And we have a random texter that won as well, and that is Diane Valentin. Thank you, from Ridley Park. So, Diane, you get the $100 gift card. Congratulations to you. All right, we're not done giving stuff away. We have a lesson question. We're going to give away a $50 Manhattan Bagel gift card. If you can tell me what club will me and Casey be forming later today. Not Stacy. Stacy's not around here. What club will me and Casey be forming later today, or Casey and I should say, 215-263-WMMR. Let's see if you heard it, and if you know, call, and you just might win. We'll do the trash while you're calling.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
All right, we got some stories to go through before we do anything else. Steve, what is happening this morning?
Well, legendary director Martin Scorsese is working on a Frank Sinatra biopic starring Leonardo DiCaprio's Old Blue Eyes. Scorsese says he wants to focus in on the Sinatra not many really know, the one who was also a legend in the world of competitive hot dog eating.
Oh my God.
Kit Harington saying he has no desire to play any more heroes after Game of Thrones. Harrington says whatever roles he takes in the future, he can guarantee they will be short.
Oh my God.
And finally, the new season of 911 Lone Star has started filming in L.A. The news comes just as 911 L.A. wraps up filming in Corpus Christi.
Yeah.
And that's your Hollywood.
All right, we will see if we do indeed have an answer to the question this morning, which is what club will Casey and I be forming later today? 215-263-WMMR. Our caller is Zane, who we'll go to first. Hey, Zane, morning.
Good morning, guys.
All right, Zane, what club will me and Casey be forming later today?
The Loose Sausage Club.
Yes, it is. The Loose Sausage Club. Hang on a second, Zane. We're going to give you a $50 Manhattan Bagel gift card. You can try the new French toast egg sandwich, a French toast, gourmet bagel, fresh cracked eggs, sausage, bacon. I wonder if that's loose sausage or not. Cheddar, honey almond, cream cheese, and a drizzle of syrup. You can get 20% off of your first online order at manhattanbagel.com.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Really? Yeah. Brought to you by Monster Jam, the only place to see the legendary gravedigger tear up the dirt. You can see racing, big air, and backflips when Monster Jam roars into Lincoln Financial Field May 4th. Case, we're going to have a piece of audio to go along with this. Noah Weiland, son of late Stone Temple Pilots frontman Scott Weiland, has shared a new song. It's called Time Will Tell that features previously unreleased vocals from his father, and he wasn't ready to release it, but Weiland was forced to after being blackmailed by an anonymous person who threatened to leak an old version of the track if he didn't pay them $2,000.
Come on.
But instead of giving in, Noah went on Instagram and said that he beat the blackmailer to the punch, adding, funny enough, I saw a time... What was that?
That was the audio we were going to play.
You're right over there.
Something fell, sorry.
Okay. Like it tumbled for a while there.
It was a really heavy award that I got.
Oh, no.
Is it broken?
No, it's in a protective case.
Okay, all right. Very good.
Sorry about that.
All right, anyhow, so... He said, I saw Time Will Tell written on a bathroom wall the day that I got the text. Maybe my dad thought it was time. Weiland continued the caption saying, after years...
Oh, oops.
I didn't do it on purpose, man.
Sorry about that.
Casey just dumped a bunch of stuff on the floor, too. All right, so anyhow, this I want
It's
you to...
serious.
I
Come
want you
on.
to hear this. So... Weiland continued the caption saying, after years of struggling with addiction, homelessness, people hiding my dad's money, liars, backstabbers, growing up too fast, losing my brother Gio, old friends turned foes. I've been through a lot, but the person I was years ago is far from who I am now. Had no idea his son was going through stuff like that.
I didn't. I knew there was the issue over money. That was all over the place, that battle.
As for the song, he revealed in a Rolling Stone interview that he decided to turn the song into a more modern-sounding collaboration with his friend Spencer Carr Reed. The 23-year-old musician also admitted that his frustration that No one representing his late dad has cared to give fans new unheard music or keep his name alive, which further motivated him to release Time Will Tell on his own terms. So we're going to play a little bit of this. I don't really like it.
No.
I don't. It doesn't. I think that he tried to add too much in this mix with it. I like Scott's vocals and everything, but it's not a real good song.
I'm going to have to agree with you on it. You know what it needs?
Wait, from the beginning, please.
Right.
Here we go. Let's say, you know what?
Here we go.
I've come around.
Yeah, it's now a hit.
I've come around on that. So that is Unheard Scott Weiland. It's been a long time since we've heard any new stuff from the archives of what is left laying around. I'm sure there's more somewhere. It's got to be. All right, a new Johnny Cash album. Speaking of material that has probably been around for a little while, featuring previously unheard tracks by the icon, is set to be released later this year. Cash died in 2003, but left behind a legacy of recorded material. John Carter Cash, son of Johnny and June Carter Cash, recently rediscovered his father's songs and has compiled them into an album. The new album, called Songwriter, features an array of songs written and recorded by Johnny in 1993, more than 30 years ago.
Was this for the series Hot in Cleveland?
That must have been it. The album, which spans 11 tracks, highlights Cash's impressive songwriting talents and touches upon love, survival, and family. As always, his resonant baritone voice gives the entire album a unique depth and soul familiar to his listeners.
You know, it's just one of the most devastating, haunting, amazing songs. His cover of Hurt.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yep. One of the album's tracks, Well, All Right, was released on streaming channels today to give fans a taste of what to expect. I haven't had a chance to hear that yet. The new album will also feature the recognizable musical talents of Marty Stewart, Dave Rowe, and the Black Keys' Dan Auerbach as well. So Rammstein, I don't know. Frontman Till Lindemann is embarking on his first ever North American solo tour this fall. Marking his debut
The ventriloquism stuff?
as a solo artist. Yes, he's doing that outside of his
So
previous...
what did you think about that traffic this morning? I didn't like it. Yeah, who would, right? Great to be here in Topeka.
The 14-city trek will kick off September 17th in San Antonio and finish on October 14th in Los Angeles. Closest he comes is New York on October 1st, somewhere in New York. I don't know exactly. And he's doing the Louder Than Life festival.
My puppet looks like a sauerbraten.
Tickets for the tour are on sale now through Lindemann's website. In addition to the North American solo tour dates, he's also going to tour with Rammstein in Europe this year, as the band has scheduled a European trek next month.
I wonder what these very dramatic bands, you take like a Slipknot or, where they have to carry a lot of stuff and, after a while, and like even Kiss after a while, it's like, Jesus Christ.
We got to do this again?
Crap. It must just wear you down after a while.
One last thing. This is fun. The band Rednecks' song Cotton Eye Joe has inspired a viral event that has seen the band smash a YouTube record. The band, now you guys know, it ain't been for Cotton Eye Joe. I've been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go?
Cotton Eye Joe.
There you go. The band took to YouTube to announce that their music has received 3 billion views in 26 days.
3 billion views in 26 days. How was that pulled off?
Thanks to a meme that reworks their hit, a sound that's called, and I'll never be able to pronounce this, it's a gazillion letters long, get it, go. Get it, go. I think that's how it's read. There you go. Which is a garbled version of the first lyric from Cotton Eye Joe. It is spread across social media platform with videos that have garnered millions of views using it. Danish singer Razi Erwani kicked off the trend in 2023, where his video went viral on TikTok. However, the song went viral again this year thanks to a chicken nugget and wing singing the song, which has garnered 23 million views. And since then, numerous other memes have developed with the chicken nugget. One video has created an animated series around the wing and nugget, while another video speeds up the song, the sound by 999 times. So it has led people in the direction of finding the actual YouTube video for the song. And in the past 26 days,
they've been searching.
It has had over 3 billion views.
My gosh.
Unreal.
That's tough to wrap your mind around. So previously, Adele's Hello was the fastest song to hit 1 billion views in 87 days. They did 3 billion in 26 days.
That's astonishing.
Isn't that ridiculous?
Yeah, and basically what you're saying is that people are accidentally arriving at it looking for this other one, right?
No. So I think it's created interest in going and seeking it out.
I see. Okay, all right.
But to that number, that's crazy. So, that continues to be somewhat relevant these days. I remember when that song came out, it was a huge hit.
It's just so weird. What every now and then
Yeah. Right?
Some viral thing takes off, and the thing that you had to say, Preston, the giddy goo or whatever the hell it is, like all of a sudden that becomes a searchable thing, which leads people to this song, which has been around forever, and then it's like a hit.
And honestly, you can talk about rhyme or reason, but something like this, how could you ever walk into, here's our plan to get 3 billion views.
Every now and then.
And we're going to do the giddy goo song.
Right. And here's the TikTok trend. Marissa found it, so this is how it goes.
Oh, I've been married a long time ago. What do you come from? What year to go? What do you come from? Bacalado.
Yeah. Every now and then would be in a promotions meeting, and we get a client who would come in and say, "Hey, can you guys help create a viral video?"
Yeah. Let's just get on that.
Sure.
Because I got this gig thing that's going to set the world on fire.
Lou, would you come in here? Do what you do. Get go.
And that connected for whatever reason.
For whatever reason.
That connected.
Because it's so beautiful.
I guess.
Hang on a second. And that's it in music news. On the Xfinity guest line, Xfinity mobile guest line, we have a caller here. I'm just going to go to this. I'm not like the last caller. I'm just not even going to say anything. Here we go.
Hi, it's Al Pacino, and I just want to wish everyone a happy New Kids on the Block Day.
It's amazing.
Al Pacino called us on New Kids on the Block Day?
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
It's crazy.
Oh, and we have another caller. Let me go to this person. Hi, is this Amy?
Yes, it is.
Amy, are you calling for New Kids on the Block Day?
Of course, yeah.
Oh. Cool. Anything else?
And yes, I just won $1,000.
She just won $1,000. Look at that. We just got a winner a few minutes ago, and now we get another one. And it's MMR's Good Money It. Where are you from, Amy?
I'm from Swarthmore, Pennsylvania, Delco.
Swarthmore.
2 Delco winners today.
Where was the other?
Oh, no, the other one was Williamstown. But our the girl who won the
Secret text word?
Secret text word.
She was
really
from
Delco
people.
I should just shut up.
Amy, born and bred in Delaware County?
I am.
And you'll stay there for the rest of your life, won't you?
Yes, I will.
So you're going to take all your friends out for New Kids on the Block dinner?
Yeah, we'll have to.
Absolutely.
Excellent. If by the way, how many times have you entered to win? I'm just curious.
Oh my goodness, like almost every time.
Awesome.
So that's why you got to stick with it. And
I love it.
I'm telling you, you stay with it.
Get the app. Get the app.
And get the app.
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you, Amy. Well, we are excited to give you $1,000, Amy. Thank you so much.
So much. I love you guys.
We love you. All right, there she goes. Good morning, it. Good morning to see you.
Oh, that's so good.
Good money, it. And your next chance to win is coming up at noon. Pierre's going to have that. So let's get another winner then. We're going to take a break, come back in a second, and wrap up the show. So please stay with us. Yeah, they rocks and Black Keys, beautiful people. It's 10:49 Wednesday morning. And we're looking at partly cloudy, maybe a passing shower, not really anything extended today, but temperature's comfortable, 72 degrees.
I'm seeing sun peek out very periodically, so, I don't know.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty good. 72 is a good spot to be in. A little cooler tomorrow, high of only about 60, and then Friday, Saturday, 65 degrees. Sunday, 81.
That's your trout fishing day, Kathy.
There you go.
Yeah.
Get your waders out, dust them off, get ready.
Still don't understand that stupid sport. Let's torture the fish and then throw them back in. Jam a hook through their eyeball and then throw them back in.
Why are you jamming through their eyeball?
That's the way she fishes.
Half the time, that's where it goes. Either they swallow it and they got to rip it out of their throat, or it gets caught in their eye, and then you let them go back in the water with one eye.
Isn't your brother way into trout fishing? Was that?
He did a documentary.
He did help do a documentary.
Fly
that
fishing.
was it. Fly.
Oh, my dad and my brothers are Jace loves it. Big into fishing. That's why
They also go kitten clubbing.
It's around me, but I mean, more than half the time, I don't understand it because they're ripping the hook out and throwing the poor thing back in.
I agree. Totally. Leave those poor little fishies to fish.
I would say to do that if I didn't love salmon so much.
No, but
Yummy.
listen, if you're going to eat it, I understand it, but.
And I provide for the remaining family.
All right. Yeah. I'm hearing you.
You're a good guy.
I would like to thank our guests for being on the show today. We had a gentleman by the name of Adam Crognale, who is the Phillies bat boy.
Yeah.
And it was a great story with him. Number one, I'm fascinated by the job that he does and a lot of things go on behind the scenes that you're not aware of. But also, he's a cancer survivor and the Greater Philadelphia Visionaries of the Year candidate. He is for this year, 2024. And it's through the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. And you can actually make a donation in his name, and that will whoever raises the most gets the award.
It's wonderful. Yeah.
And it's a win-win because obviously the organization gets much needed funds, and they get to highlight some people who go above and beyond.
And he gets an award to knock over?
To knock over?
Like Nick did.
Oh, yeah, Nick did. That's right.
I felt like Peregrine Took in Lord of the Rings, where he knocks the thing into the well and just falls for 5 minutes and wakes up all the orcs.
Thank you to Tom Green, who came by. Tom's Healing Comedy Club tonight and tomorrow night. One show each night around 8:15, and he was great. It's always awesome to talk to him.
Who would figure that he'd be now out in a farm in Canada and living that kind of life? And it's just it's so cool.
Yep. And then we had Zack Snyder, our good friend, acclaimed director. Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scar Giver, is available now on Netflix, so check it out when you get a chance. Pierre, we loaded for a letter.
Yes.
All right, let's do this.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
The Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by the letter
T is in Tom Petty.
All right, and we will give away on Friday a pair of tickets and a hotel room stay for the night as MMR rocks Motley Crue, and they're going to be playing Saturday, May 4th, Hard Rock live at Edis Arena in Atlantic City. Plus passes to join Jackie Bam for a meet and greet with the band. Jackie's also hosting a pre-party that night at the Hard Rock AC, and will be giving away a signed guitar and drum head. The tickets are on sale now for both Crue shows that weekend, May 3rd and May 4th, through Ticketmaster. So we'll give that away on Friday. And what's happening with you?
And Tommy Conwell and the Young Rumblers are opening that show.
Oh, very cool.
Motley Crue?
Yeah, it's an odd pairing, I think, but I just heard that the other day. So
that's cool.
Yeah, but odd pairings can be good.
Yeah.
So we have a block of Tom Petty. We have a block of Muse, a block of the Hooters, speaking of great local music, and another opportunity for money. Good Money It. Coming at noon and 3 and 5 p.m. still today. And if you enter, make sure you are there because Brighton Beasley's on watch today and has a check for $1,000 in the company-wide contest for someone.
It's Brighton?
Brighton.
No, I thought was that the name always?
It was Beauregard.
I thought it was Beauregard.
Well, no, there's several of them.
Oh, okay. All right.
So today, Brighton has the watch.
All right. Good. Good man.
Who knows who it'll be tomorrow. But be on the lookout for Brighton's call. It could be Bocephus.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was Bocephus. I'll have to check the lineage of the Beasleys.
There we go.
All right.
Well, Bruce is here today, so you can
he
ask
is?
him if you want.
Excellent.
Yeah. All right, I want to thank our sponsors. Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by Dunkin', and the Preston and Steve Show runs on Dunkin'. Also brought to you by Acme Markets, fresh foods, local flavors, and Monster Jam.
Delicious.
No. Monster Jam roars into Lincoln Financial Field Saturday, May 4th. Tickets at Ticketmaster.com. Tomorrow on our program, Adam Hutter, who is with the Oddities Expo, will be in the studio.
Wow. Very cool.
And I'm sure bring by some examples of what you can expect at
Adam's
something
cool,
like that.
yeah.
All right, that is it. We are done. Rage on. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow, Friday. Bye-bye.